The year 2025 presents a unique astrological dilemma. You have an unsteady Mars going back and forth until April. Saturn transit happens in end March. Guru does a double transit, with the first one happening in mid-May. Rahu-Kethu transit happens in end of May. And then Saturn turns retrograde from July until end of November. Guru's second transit will be from the mid of October until the 5th of December. No matter what Rashi you are, there is no use in looking at the transit of just one planet. You must try to get a grasp of the net effect of all the mentioned transit. My predictions will touch mainly on Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu and Kethu.
As Saturn enters Meena in March, this heralds the start of your 7.5-year transformative process. This is the Saturn return or Sareshati. If you are middle-aged, generally this will be your second Saturn return. The second Saturn return presents you a wonderful opportunity to mature into a responsible adult, realize your dreams, and find your purpose. There's an old saying that a ship is safest in the harbor, but that's not what the ships are made for. It's time to set the ship to sail. When a ship docks, it is secured by ropes called mooring lines. Saturn is coming to release those mooring lines one by one. The ruler for Mesha is Mars. He is fiery, bright and quick. Now he will need to tolerate Saturn, who is dark, slow and cold. Saturn gets very weak in Aries, but that's a different story altogether. For now, he is entering Meena, which is your 12th house. He has been trapped in this back and forth transit between your 3rd and 4th houses for the past few months. All this will come to an end by early April. Guru is currently going through a favorable transit in 2nd house Rishaba. Guru concludes retrograde motion on February the 4th and then transits your 3rd house Mithuna from the middle of May. A few days afterwards, on May 20th, Rahu will leave Meena to enter your 11th house Kumbha. Kethu will enter your 5th house Simha. Interestingly, Jupiter will spend only 5 months in Mithuna before entering your 4th house Karka in mid-October. Guru will be there until the 5th of December. Among all these placements, Guru is most beneficial to you in between February 4th and the middle of May. Save as much as you can during this period. As soon as Saturn enters Meena in March, he is like a disciplinary teacher catching you red-handed doing a few things wrong. He is urging you to wake up from your dreams and change your ways. This sudden demand for change can be very hard, especially when Saturn is coming fresh from your 11th house, which is your Upachaya Sthana. You would have made a large circle of friends and you may have been quite lucky with your finances. Now the party comes to a stop. All your friends have left the party except Guru, who's still there to pick up the bills, but he too will leave the favorable 2nd house by mid-May. You will notice a steady rise in expenditure and long journeys. Some of you may get transferred to a new place. The rise in expenditure could be due to the transfer itself, or maybe it's just you who can't stay very far from your loved ones. You will willingly spend more money on long journeys so you can reconnect with your old place, your parents, home and comfort. It is the strong sense of attachment which will be the source of your expenditure. Where are the other aspects of Saturn? His 7th aspect falls on your 6th house Kanni, which is currently under the influence of both Kethu and Guru. By the end of May, both Guru and Kethu will complete their transits and leave the 6th house exposed to the full influence of Saturn. This will bring issues in health, litigation, and wasteful arguments. So learn to stay healthy and avoid unnecessary conflicts. Conflicts will arise due to no fault of yours, but that's not the issue. The issue here is you are vulnerable. Stay away from unnecessary trouble. Make sure you check any document before you sign them off, mindful of tasks that are being passed on to you because someone wants to keep their hands clean. Learn to set boundaries when dealing with others. The 10th aspect of Saturn falls on your 9th house Dhanush. This house will receive the protection of Guru once he enters Mithuna. From a favorable perspective, this will be an opportunity for you to take up a skill or an existing business into a higher level. For those pursuing higher education, Guru will ensure luck through your own efforts. Saturn's influence, however, may create situations where there are frequent differences of opinion with your superiors and people of authority. Do not let this build into a full-blown conflict. Remember, your weak 6th house means you are exposed to negative action by the others. You will quite easily lose your job if you pick up a fight with your superiors. Guru will help you but not fully protect you here. Why? Because Guru is the lord of your 12th house Meena, and Guru is the one who is hosting Saturn there. Imagine that you have two very powerful bosses. One boss is your friend, but another one is not so much your friend. Your friendly boss will remain nice to you, but the boss won't go pick up a fight with the other just to save you. After all, they are both bosses and they have mutual respect towards each other. That's the relationship between Guru and Saturn. They are neutrals. But dear Mesha, is the situation that gloomy overall? No, don't overthink. As soon as Guru leaves your 2nd house, Rahu will be entering your 11th house and remain there for 1.5 years. So Mesha Rashi folks, you're quite lucky indeed. Rahu will be taking away half the burden in the first 2.5 years of your Saturn return. And what happens next? Saturn enters retrograde motion from July 13 till November 28, 2025. And that's your discipline master going on leave. Looking back at your 11th house with Rahu already sitting in it. In other words, you are getting a real soft landing into the whole Saturn return thing. Saturn return is never continuously bad. There are always periods of good luck with the help of other planets. And in your case, it is even more exceptional with plenty of movements ensuring a comfortable ride in 2025. By early April, your Rashi Lord Mars will resume a more stable forward movement, giving you not only clarity of thought, but also help you get meaningful results from your actions. If you have been wanting to make major changes in your life, now is the time. You are already getting such a soft landing into Saturn return. Saturn is the lord of your 10th and the 11th. He is ready to reward you. But he will only reward you if you are honest, hardworking and patient. Rahu will expose you to a good network of people beginning the end of May. You can use Rahu's influence to make the right moves and build the right bridges. Luck will remain on your side, especially if you are running a retrograde Mahadasha. While Rahu brings in a steady stream of connections, your 11th Lord Saturn will be in the 12th. This connection between the 11th and the 12th houses can open up possibilities to collaboration with foreigners, international travel and trade. If Saturn is a Yoga Karaga or favorably placed in your birth chart, this combination will be very beneficial to you. If Saturn is badly placed otherwise, you can start to lose big amounts of money if you're not careful. I said Rahu will expose you to a good network of people. The problem with Rahu is he will introduce you to both good and bad people. And Rahu does everything through a smoke screen. Good people may look bad, bad one may look good. Oh Mesha, you have a lot more to learn about this world. Your love life is going to be full of ups and downs. The good thing is Venus, your lord of 2nd and 7th, will be exalted in Meena beginning the 28th of January. So Venus being your lord of 2nd and 7th is actually quite a yoga karaga. Venus will enter your own Rashi in end May, increasing your affection towards your partner. A month later, in late June, Venus will enter Rishaba, increasing your luck and earnings. What's the down part then? Pay attention to Ketu. You see, Ketu was in your 6th house, Kanni, all this while. He is now entering your 5th house, Simha, towards the end of May. For the next 18 months after, he will slowly impart some painful lessons through your 5th house. Ketu has to teach you about detachment, warn you about Maya. You will slowly feel a disconnect with your partner. I said disconnect, not necessarily a separation. You will have to struggle to get the necessary love and attention from your partner. If you have children, you will have to encounter frustration through them. Not that something bad is about to happen to your children, but it is more about you. Your children will not behave in the way that you want. They will not choose the path that you wish. Well, letting go is hard, isn't it? You may have heard from others, but now it is happening to you. The thing is, Ketu is also a bit of a wild card. One of your children can make a remarkable progress or achievement without your direct involvement. You may also acquire an extraordinary level of intelligence. And this is good, especially if you are pursuing higher studies, especially in the field of art, creativity, mathematics, stockbroking, and speculation. Beware, I said you can study about stock market, speculation, and such. Ketu's 5th transit is not at all favorable for those who love to gamble and play speculative stocks. Rahu may occasionally bring in luck, but you cannot depend on Rahu for a steady flow of luck. You see, Saturn will increase your expenditure as he enters Meenam in March. In fact, in the first 2 months, along with Rahu, you will be seeing things through a smoke screen. A promising source of income will suddenly disappear. An anticipated loss can suddenly turn into a profit. Do not be overconfident in financial matters, especially with Guru backing up your finances only until mid-May. From the end of May, remember, Ketu is also entering your 5th house while Rahu enters your lucky 11th. Rahu will give you a sudden burst of luck and income, but Ketu in the 5th will be ready to punish you if you want to gamble and speculate. Long-term investments is fine, but absolutely avoid speculation. Talking about higher studies, Guru, the lord of your 9th and 12th houses, will be transiting your 3rd house Mithuna. This is between mid-May until mid-October. You will embark on big projects or engage in high-level competition. But Jupiter also leaves Mithuna and enters Karka between mid-October to the 5th of December. After that, he re-enters Mithuna. This 1.5 month period may signal a temporary need to travel far from home, most likely in connection with the big project that you have started earlier. So you will need to take a break to go out and achieve something and return to the drawing board. Whatever big things you want to pursue, make sure you have the blessings of your father, mentor, or any other person of higher authority in your life. There will be some ups and downs in your relationship with your siblings. Do not pay too much attention to it. In summary, 2025 will signal the beginning of a very exciting phase of your life. By the end of May, once the major planetary transits are complete, you will slowly begin to understand your new trajectory, which may initially look a bit difficult, but becomes smooth once Saturn turns retrograde and Rahu enters your 11th. While Saturn's 12th transit and Ketu's departure from the 6th makes you vulnerable to the bad action of others, you need to focus on strengthening your own body and mind. Build your inner strength. Stay focused on your long-term goals. Get back to the basics. Eat healthy, exercise, understand the value of hard work, integrity, walk the path of Dharma, pray and learn to be patient. Life will return to a stable direction towards December. And by the way, do you know the meaning of a foundry? That's Foundry. Look it up. Saturn is preparing you to become a forged metal, and the process first begins in the foundry. In his next transit, Saturn will turn you from a piece of forged metal to a valuable tool. If you watch the Avengers, try to recall Thor's enchanted hammer. You are being slowly shaped into that hammer. Not any other hammer, Thor's enchanted hammer. Chin up, look straight, go for the bullseye.
Perhaps the most important thing going on for Rishabam is the Guru transit in your own Rashi. There must have been a major upheaval at the home front as well. Many of you would have completed or acquired a formal skills recognition. Saturn, while transiting your 10th house Kumbha, would have demanded a lot from you at your workplace, but also gave you the opportunity to apply your skills and credentials you acquired in his 9th transit. But he should be in the final phases of tidying up your 10th house before entering Meena, which is your 11th house. This will happen on the 29th of March 2025. You would have been promoted to a good position, a position which you earned through sheer dedication, discipline, and hard work. Saturn's 10th transit would have blurred the lines between work and home. After all, Rishaba is synonymous with hard work. Aren't you always the last one to leave your place of work? Your own Rashi Lord Venus is getting exalted in Meena from the 28th of January. Guru concludes retrograde motion on February 4th and then transits your second house Mithuna from the middle of May 2025. A few days afterwards, on May 20th, Rahu will leave Meenam to enter your 10th house Kumbha. Kethu will enter your 4th house Simha. Interestingly, Jupiter will spend only 5 months in Mithuna before entering your 3rd house Karka in mid-October. Guru will be there until the 5th of December. Among all these placements, Saturn's entry into your 11th house and then Guru's entry into your 2nd house are the most important moves for you this year. 2025 will be an extraordinary year. How many times you have been told in the past to be patient? They always had something good to say about other Rashis, but not so much about Rishaba. Not in 2025. Rishaba, this year is your year. There are many good things in store. The magnitude of the benefits depend on your current Mahadasha and Bhukti. It also depends on how much sincere efforts you have put in to yourself over the years. If you are currently going through Saturn Mahadasha, you will derive more benefits through the Saturn's transit. If you are going through the Guru Mahadasha, Guru's transit will affect you the most. And finally, if you are young and going through the Rahu Mahadasha, the benefits may be somewhat muted, but definitely in your favor. The 11th house is an Upachaya Sthana and is particularly beneficial when grahas like Saturn and Rahu transit them. Rahu is already in your 11th house. You would have experienced a series of lucky events, and some of it may have far exceeded your own expectations. Now we are going to switch Rahu with Saturn. Rahu is erratic and full of ups and downs. Saturn is slow but steady. You would have noticed a large circle of friends who have entered or re-entered your life in the last 1 year. Now Saturn is going to cut away the unnecessary ones and let you select a few good friends who will be there to support you during your upcoming Saturn return, which is due to commence in 2028. Not only that, Saturn helped cleanse your 10th house while he was there. He will now let you use your job to bring in your wealth through discipline, and hard work. To those of you who had been complaining that no one is taking notice of your work at the office, now is the time for you to shine. Build a solid network, strategize, and build your wealth. From the 11th house, he's looking at your own Rashi, but know what? Saturn loves Rishaba. He's your yoga karaga. He will give you the right attitude and an industrious mentality. If you doubt any of this is going to be true, wait until Saturn goes retrograde between the mid of July to late November. Unless you are running a retrograde Mahadasha or Bhukti, this is the period you are going to lose the steady hand of Saturn. And it makes you realize how much he has been doing for you in the background. But even then, look at your luck. Guru is entering your second house in mid-May and will remain there until at least mid-October and goes out for a short while to Karka only to return back by the 5th of December. So whatever ill effect or confusion you may be facing during the Saturn retrograde will be cushioned by a favorable Guru in the second. And in case you don't know, Guru is the ruler of your 11th and he is the one hosting Saturn, creating a favorable, solid connection in between the second as well as the 11th houses. If everything is expected to go well, what is the catch? Pay attention to Kethu. Where's Kethu right now? He's in your 5th house, but currently under the favorable 5th aspect from Guru. Some of you may have attained extraordinary success in higher studies, but alongside there was love failure, sorrow through children, or failed attempt to have a child. With Kethu leaving your 5th house, fortunately your luck with love and children is going to improve. Some of you may look forward to increase the size of your family. If you are going for IVF or fertility treatment without success, try again after May 2025. Kethu is all about attainment of higher philosophy of life through loss or detachment. And what is in store with this next journey into your 4th house Leo ruled by the Sun? You will be separated from your comforts, your mother, home, homeland. This can be in either positive or negative way depending on your Mahadasha and Bhukti. Some of you may need to downgrade your home and comforts, while some of you end up moving into the most beautiful home ever, or you have the opportunity to own a luxurious car. It may initially start with a problem in your existing car or home that you live in. You will be initially reluctant to let go some of your possessions. Over time, Kethu will make you realize and understand why you need to let go. Pay attention to your mother's health. If she is elderly, be prepared for the worst. I'm sorry, I can't sugarcoat this for you. If you're in a bad relationship with your mother or maternal relations, just learn to make peace, forgive, and move on. Please be careful while dealing with the government and take care of your chest, lungs, and heart. Pray to Lord Ganesha. Be kind to animals. When you see a mother in distress, go out of your way and offer help wholeheartedly. The more you seek inner peace and accept the will of God through the 4th house, the more benefit you will derive through Rahu in Karmasthana. Because remember, by the end of May, Rahu the magician is also entering your 10th house or Karmasthana. Though generally a good placement for Rahu, Rahu is also a troublemaker and his power can be quite erratic. If you have had a bad Saturn placement in your birth chart, the last 2.5 years would have been quite bad. With Saturn's departure from the 10th house, you may now enjoy a more peaceful environment at the workplace. If you are young and obviously stuck in the wrong place, earning
a minimum salary, do consider making a move, especially between the end of March to mid-July. To those with a good placement of Saturn in the birth chart, do remember that Saturn just spent 2.5 years in your Karmasthana. You know how much effort you put in to get there, and by now you should have reached a comfortable position at your workplace. Now Rahu enters the Karmasthana. What does he do? He entices you with all sorts of ideas. Rahu in the 10th is very good for career progress, but Rahu can also disrupt your work environment. Stay away from office politics. If you achieve something by illegal means or through shortcuts, Ketu will be ready to punish you through the 4th house. Whatever that you gain illegally through the 10th will be lost through the 4th. Rahu will show you all the shortcuts. He will entice you to switch jobs, go against your superiors. Do you really need to do it? Are you ready to face the consequences? What will happen to your family? What is more important? Short-term glory, promotion, or long-term career pathway leading to a much larger position? Choices, consequences, choices, consequences. You make the choices, you face the consequences. Rahu is there just to entice, just to confuse, and urge you to do something. The actions come from you. The moment you take an action, you have to bear the consequences. The icing on the cake for 2025 is perhaps Guru's entry into your second house, Mithuna. This will happen by the mid of May. This is a very lucky combination. Between mid-May to the end of May especially, you have exalted Rashi Lord in the 11th. Your Yoga Karaka Saturn is in the 11th. Rahu is in the 11th. And now Guru is entering your second house to boost your finances. What else do you need? What else? Sudden luck, promotion. If supported by the right Mahadasha and Bhukti, you are going to be left dumbstruck. It will be a windfall which you never saw coming. The whole magnitude of it. Prepare yourself for this golden opportunity. Manage the inflow of money carefully, as in 2028, I've already told you, your Saturn return is going to start. Solidify your finances now. Guru's entry into your second house will bring moments of celebration in your home. Family members will increase either by marriage or childbirth. This will bring you immense satisfaction. Apart from that, your speech will turn factual, meaningful, just, and fair. Others will stop what they are doing and listen when you speak. Even your enemies will agree with you. There will be freedom from ailments and diseases, unless you can control what you eat and avoid exercise. I'm not asking you to wait for Guru and delay treatment for an existing ailment. The smarter thing to do is to pursue medical treatment and let Guru play his magic once he enters your second house. From the favorable second house, Guru will also look at his own house, Dhanush, which is your 8th house, and Kumbha, which is your 10th house. You will be able to settle bad loans, reclaim your damaged reputation. If you are applying for a new loan to expand your business, that too will come through smoothly and the terms and conditions will be favorable to you. Meanwhile, Guru's aspect on Kumbha will smoothen Rahu's influence in a very positive way, so your job will remain secure. Guru's temporary but powerful transit into Cancer happens between mid-October to early December. You may be presented with an opportunity to start a business or further your skills. Be mindful of the temporary nature of this situation. Guru will offer a quick preview of what's in store for you in the second half of 2026. He then quickly goes into retrogression, making you think that your fortunes are over. But it isn't true, because your period of good fortune will recommence by the end of 2025. Guru will move into Cancer once again firmly only by June 2026. In summary, 2025 presents you a wonderful opportunity to rebuild yourself professionally and financially. You need to use this opportunity to build a steady foundation that will help you navigate your Saturn return, which is due to begin in 2028. There will be plenty of blissful moments surrounded by high quality acquaintance, abundant luck, and handsome earnings. Invest smartly, take care of your health to harness the best of 2025 and beyond.
Where are the main planets in relation to Mithunam? Saturn is in your 9th house Kumbha, Rahu is in your 10th house Meena, Guru has completed his retrograde motion in your 12th house by early February. Kethu is in your 4th house Kanni, Venus has joined Rahu since the 28th of January. Venus is exalted or very powerful in this position. A retrograde Mars is already in your Rashi. You are probably commencing 2025 in an irritable state. Guru in the 12th would have brought steady expenditure, then some reversal would have happened during his retrograde. Mars in the 2nd would have given you a surge in income, but also some discomfort in your neck and throat. Mars then turns retrograde, leaving you in low liquidity once again. Your unique love-hate relationship with Saturn continues. Many years ago, while he was transiting your 8th house Makara, he would have forced you to make a major course correction in your life. Then he entered the 9th house, which among other things would have urged you to seek the higher meaning in life, the higher meaning in relationship with your father, promotion through sheer hard work, blessing of the elders, and for some, new opportunities in higher education. Saturn, by now, would have imparted you so much wisdom that some of you can give valuable advice to others. Now Saturn is preparing to enter your 10th house Meena. This will happen on the 29th of March 2025. But when Saturn enters your 10th house, both Rahu and an exalted Venus will already be there. The combination will bring a sudden promotion and celebration at your place of work. Saturn's message is to now apply your knowledge and skills in your job. The promotion or change in responsibility will initially feel rewarding, but eventually you may feel burdened by it. You will feel it the most between May and July. From the 10th house, Saturn will cast his aspect on your 12th house, Rishaba, 4th house, Kanni, and the 7th house, Dhanush. Unnecessary expenditure will increase. He will put some strain on relationship at home. Home might even become a source of stress. Do not show too much authority or expect peace at home. Saturn wants you to concentrate on your job and career. Yes, there will be small repairs coming up for home and vehicles you own. Fix it or leave it. But if you want to fix something, fix it early. There will be some mitigation from Guru, but I shall touch on this later. As Saturn turns retrograde from mid-July, you'll be forced to take one last look at your skills and higher studies once again. Saturn retrograde will last until end of November. During this period, there can be delays and frustration at your workplace. You will struggle to implement ideas and policies. There can be opposition to your ideas. Support at the workplace can be a bit lacking overall. Let's get back to Guru. By mid-May, Guru is leaving your 12th house and entering your own Rashi, Mithuna. This is a mixed bag. Saturn's entry into your 10th house also affects your 7th house, Dhanush, but thankfully, Guru's transit will help counter Saturn's effect on the 7th house. This is going to neutralize Saturn's effect on the 7th to a large extent. So relationships are going to turn out fine. Some amount of tension will be there, especially between end March until mid-May. Navigate this period carefully. Guru will be a catalyst in reforming and expanding your thought process. You would be able to think big. You will be in this planning mode. Your ideas will concern your love, children, luck, partnership, higher studies, and attaining higher philosophies in life. Meanwhile, by the end of May, Rahu will also move into your 9th house, Kumbha. Not only you will be visiting temples and punya sthalas, you will be seeking the blessing of gurus and people of higher authority. Though Rahu's 9th transit can affect your father's health, again, Guru's 9th aspect will neutralize the problems to some extent. If you can harness the power of both these planets, you can excel in research, international relations, electronics, and related fields. This is the time to pursue the higher recognition you've been aiming for. Don't stress about your job and workplace. After all, Saturn will demand structure, discipline, and hard work in your profession. You can live with that. At least by the end of May, Rahu will be leaving your 10th house. This will help create a more stable pattern at your place of work. If you can numb yourself to the hard work, you can find time to pursue your higher studies. Alright, we talked about Rahu. What about his good buddy Kethu? Kethu is headed to your 3rd house. All the mysterious troubles affecting your vehicle and home is now going to fade away. In the 3rd house, he will disrupt the relationship with your siblings. You will stop caring for your siblings in a good way. Some may walk out or leave you. If you're young, this is going to be hard. If you're middle-aged, you will take some time to come to terms. And if you're elderly, the separation can be permanent. You don't have to own everything you love. You don't have to love everything you own. The same applies to relationship with your siblings. You will be able to read their intentions. You may even laugh at the way your siblings are behaving. They will not understand you any better. Your communication will become more philosophical. You will also acquire ingenious ways of expressing yourself. Your communication may initially come across as amusing or confusing for some. It will take time for others to understand you, but those who understand will be awestruck with the meaning that you are trying to convey. You will be able to produce beautiful paintings. Poetry will flow with ease. Some of you may find enough courage to write a book or a thesis. Starting to write won't be easy. There will be initial delays and frustrations, but once you're able to connect with your inner self, your higher order thoughts will begin to flow like the river. The manuscript that you produce will be able to withstand the test of time. But Kethu in the 3rd will also give troubles in your arms and shoulders. Since Kethu will be entering Simha, which is ruled by the sun, take extra care of your heart and your father. Why am I touching so much on Kethu? Because while he's in your 4th house Virgo, he also receives Guru's 5th aspect. As Kethu leaves your 4th house, he will be no more under the influence of Guru. He does become quite powerful, but overall, a 3rd house transit for Kethu is generally beneficial. You will be making frequent short journeys to attain higher goals in life. It can be frequent visits to a temple, institution of higher learning, or a charitable organization. Short journeys for materialistic gains will be full of obstacles. So if you are in business, don't get too excited about making frequent trips. This will not bring you back a lot of profits or gains. But if you solely rely on business or you really want your little journey to be fruitful, try to feed or help four-legged animals, homeless people, or at least pray to Lord Ganesha before you start your journey. Back once more to Guru. A peculiar thing about Guru this year is his temporary transit into Karka, your second house. This will happen between mid-October till 5th of December. Guru or Jupiter is exalted in Karka. This period will be very rewarding for you in terms of finances and job or promotion. People will suddenly recognize your work. Use the opportunity to clear pending work and balance your finances. However, do not rush into starting a new project or securing a new loan. Once you cross the 5th of December, the focus is now back on your career and personal development. Most of Saturn's lessons in the 10th house will be imparted to you from this point onwards. And finally, let's talk about your Rashi Lord Buddha or Mercury. Buddha is a fast-moving planet, taking on average 30 days to travel one sign. In 2025, Mercury or Buddha does a total of 3 retrograde journeys. First retrograde is from March 15 to April 7th. This will happen in your Karmasthana or 10th house Meena. This is a sensitive placement. You may misunderstand, misperceive or miscalculate the changes that you're going through at your workplace. The Saturn transit also happens during this retrograde period. The second retrograde for Buddha will be from July 18 to August 11th. This retrograde happens in your second house Karka. It coincides with the beginning of the Saturn retrograde. Caution is advised in matters involving speech and your finances. The third retrograde of Buddha happens between November 10th till November 29th. This event happens mainly in your 6th house and coincides with Guru's temporary transit into Karka as well as Saturn's end of retrograde journey in your 10th house. Caution is advised in health matters and litigation around this time. Do not get easily provoked at around this time. Just let things pass. As I mentioned previously, once you cross the 5th of December, the focus is back on your career and personal development. Retrograde this, retrograde that. You may wonder what I'm trying to say. Well, imagine you are a businessman in your city. You are running a successful convenience shop and you have very serious things to do at work every day. Then one day, there is a special parade in your city. The street in front of your shop is blocked to traffic. Everything comes to a standstill. Your usual customers can't come. Your suppliers can't reach your shop. But crowd from the parade enter your shop in droves, finishing off your supply of ice cream, sweets and cool drinks. If you had feared the parade on that day, you would have closed your shop and lost that business. If you had kept your shop open, but stopped what you were doing because you were amused and distracted by all the drama, people can easily enter your shop and steal, leading to losses. So, you know the parade is coming, you anticipate it is not going to be business as usual, you ask your suppliers to come another day and instruct your shop assistants to keep a close eye on people who enter the shop. After the parade, not only you enjoy the extra profits you have made, you also get more business from your regular customers who can now freely return to your shop. That is the approach to retrograde. You anticipate, stay focused on your long-term goals, but make adjustments to the temporary change in pattern. It's all about change and how we as human beings resist change. We hate change. We hate retrogrades. In summary, for Mithuna, 2025 will be a year of highs and lows. Just imagine yourself sailing on a ship. There will be periods of calm weather and strong winds, but not so much of a thunderstorm. The theme here is how well do you cope with the changing environment, but keep on sailing. You must stay focused on long-term goals or your final destination. But in between, you will sail through some ports. Some ports have something to offer. Grab it, but do not forget your mission. Some ports will be a total waste of your time. understand the lessons, and move on. No matter how hard the journey gets, you will continue to pull in the support of your partner and your seniors. I always encourage everyone to also look ahead and see what's in store for you over the next few years. In June 2026, an exalted guru will enter your second house, bringing wealth, happiness, and peace for your whole family. In 2028, Saturn will enter your 11th house, magnifying your luck and prosperity. Saturn's 10th transit for now is to help you improve your career, so you are well positioned to enjoy the fruits of your labor over the next few years. Good luck.
As we enter 2025, where are the main planets in relation to Karka? Saturn is in your 8th house Kumbha, Rahu is in your 9th house Meena, Guru has completed his retrograde motion in your 11th house in early February 2025. Kethu is in your 3rd house Kanni, Venus has left Saturn to join Rahu on the 28th of January. Venus is exalted or very powerful in this position. A retrograde Mars is already in your 12th house. Karka individuals have been going through a very intense transformative process ever since Saturn entered Kumbha. This is also known as the Ashtama Shani. Sudden change in residence, change in job, allegations or troubles at the workplace, demotion, health issues, death in the family. Perhaps you have seen it all. Rahu's position in your 9th may have affected your father's health. Kethu's journey in your 3rd house and Guru's transit in the 11th would have cushioned the Ashtama Shani to a large extent. You may recall that 2024 was actually better than 2023. The good news is 2025 will be even better than 2024. At the beginning of the year, Mars was going through a retrograde motion in your own Rashi Karka. You would have been irritable or short-tempered. There may have been anger directed to your own self. You were dealing with lots of frustration. Venus was also with Saturn at the beginning of the year. This would have affected your comforts or your comfort zone. But if you have been at odds with your partner, Venus entering Kumbha would have renewed your level of affection and happiness in your relationship. Venus moved to Meena on the 28th of January. This itself will improve the qualities of the 9th house by leaps and bounds. Are you making plans to go on a holiday? Please go ahead. You need a break. Guru in the 11th would have brought some amount of success to you, your partner, as well as your children. These were your source of happiness. The combination of Guru and Kethu on your 3rd house would have allowed you to attain a rare type of success through your own efforts. By mid-May, Guru will transit into your 12th house. There are two ways to look at this, as there are good and bad things here. Overall, there will be a rise in expenditure. But they say a 12th house Guru always pushes you to spend big for a good cause. This expenditure may be related to the health of your father, securing higher education, long journeys, or you just feel like donating to a temple or charity. If you want to go out and donate, ensure not only you are doing it with a good heart, but also your money is going into the right hands. You may also need to spend money on your own health or hospitalization. Ensure that you have the appropriate health cover or cash in your hand. With Guru entering the 12th, don't fall in love with your own money. In fact, your bank account will turn into a train station. Cash will come and go as if none of it is actually meant to be yours. To make things worse, Kethu entering your 2nd house happens in the month of May,
shortly after Guru's entry into your 12th. Now Ketu is a wild card. He is there to teach you the value of detachment, but he can also bring sudden gains out of nowhere. Ketu also brings somewhat a disconnect between you and your family. This is going to be somewhat frustrating because as Saturn enters your 9th house, he is also causing you some trouble in terms of your relationship with your siblings, because Rahu is also entering your 8th house, Kumbha. Remember, Rahu and Ketu move together. Rahu in the 8th will attract you to leave home and experiment with all sorts of bizarre things. You can very easily end up with the wrong group of friends. Rahu in the 8th can even push you towards criminal activity, or you may just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Question is, who asked you to go out at the wrong time? Avoid going to shady places, especially at night. If you really need to go out and have a drink or meet your friends, do it at home or some other safe place. If you sit and drink in a pub, a fight will break out, chairs will start flying, and the next thing you know, your face is caught on the CCTV. If you are in gainful employment, learn to pay your taxes on time. The tax man was already looking at your tax file while you were going through the Ashtama Shani. Now with Rahu entering the 8th house, the real troubles may begin. You may be put in a situation where you can very easily commit financial fraud, breach of trust, smuggling, or dealing in dangerous goods. Be careful, none of this money will stay with you. It is best to avoid gambling, get rich quick scheme, or any new form of investment. Rahu may give you the occasional luck, but it will be sudden and unexpected. Do not depend on it for your survival. To those in the stock market, you better avoid day trading and short-term speculation. Go for long-term investment in blue chip counters. Even then, invest only what you can afford. Your money will likely be stuck there for a long time. If you are studying an occult subject, astronomy, astrology, you will be supported by Rahu. You will prosper if your work involves dealing with secrets, emergencies, investigating fraud, crime, insurance, or calamities. Now let's talk about Saturn. Saturn or Shani is entering your 9th house by the end of March. He will spend 2 months with Rahu, giving a rocky start to the Saturn transit. Pay attention to your father's health and your higher studies. Some erratic trends will be there between end of March to the end of May. A sudden opportunity for a long journey may open up. Do not plan out the details too much in advance. Brace for delays and go with the flow. From June until the mid of July, you will need to work extra hard to achieve your higher goals. But once Saturn turns retrograde in the middle of July, you may suddenly lose the momentum in a project that you have started. There can be setbacks and distractions involving your own health and reputation. Navigate this period carefully. Stay motivated as Guru's temporary entry into Karka by mid-October till 5th of December will broaden your thoughts and outlook. You will be able to think big. There will be a temporary relief from huge expenses too. Guru will also give another opportunity for promotion, higher studies, and long journeys during this brief period. Guru will ensure that people in authority and power take note of your efforts. So, between mid-July to end October, do not abandon a project that you have started and do not lose your motivation. Face allegations calmly. Do not let down your guard. Exercise caution if you are asked to sign documents or contracts. Avoid getting trapped into taking an expensive loan. Read the fine print. Avoid getting drawn into office politics or plotting against your own superiors. Saturn's ninth transit may put you on a clash course with your superiors as well as your siblings. Stay focused on achieving higher goals. Do not sacrifice your work ethics. There will be a delay in getting a promotion or raise in salary. Somebody else may get promoted instead of you. All that will be just a test of your patience and dedication. Over time, what is due to you will come to you. Look at your past. You have survived Ashtama Shani. Shani has trained you how to deal with gossips and allegations. Look at your future. Shani will enter your 10th house and overhaul your career. How can Saturn make you the boss one day if you lack the right attitude and skills? So for now, Shani wants you to learn to deal with long, hard and difficult tasks. Rise to take up the challenges. Do not back off easily. With the moon being your Karka, Cancer individuals are far too emotional and you easily feel demotivated, especially with Saturn. Moon is all about speed. Saturn demands that you slow down. Saturn wants you to be methodical and thorough in your work. Read, learn, ask. And how do you make Saturn happy? Show respect to your seniors and elders. On Saturdays, when you go stand in front of Saturn, ask for mental strength and good health. In the last 4 weeks of the year, you will begin to settle into a more stable trajectory. Use Saturn's ninth transit to acquire new skills and higher recognition. It won't come easily. You will need to concentrate all your effort into it. And please don't worry too much about Guru going into the 12th. Do not hesitate to spend towards your own personal development as you will begin to see the benefits in the next few years. Guru's transit through your 12th also helps smoothen the ill effects of Rahu in your 8th. But both of them can also work together against you if you are involved in reckless financial decisions. In summary, 2025 will continue to be a challenging year for you. The multiple transit of major planets definitely has its effect on all the 12 signs, but unfortunately for you, it involves the 8th and the 12th houses. These are very sensitive houses. Take care of your emotional as well as physical well-being. Many good things are in store in the years to come. Don't make decisions based on your emotions. Most importantly, check the background of others who come forward to offer advice. Read motivational books, spend time with successful people, ask them to share how they had to cope with the difficult part of their journey. But at the same time, be careful about opening up and sharing your insecurity or fears to the wrong type of people. Go back to the basics, pray for divine intervention, observe Dharma, exercise, and find a healthy way to release your tension. You will need a healthy body and mind that will help you reap the maximum benefits from all the wonderful things that will happen to you in 2026 and beyond.
Leo the Lion is a special one. I have touched on my previous videos how the journey will be a tough one for you. Saturn's journey in your 7th house might have caused some sort of paradox, imploring you to re-evaluate your relationship with your partner, let it be a business partner or your life partner. Ketu didn't make the situation any better, sitting firmly in your 2nd house, but fortunately kept under check by Guru from the 10th house. If you are running a retrograde planet Mahadasha or Sabdasha, you may have made a lot of money. But Ketu would have blessed you only once he was satisfied that you have made a huge sacrifice. Rahu is already in your 8th house. I guess by now, some of you may have come to accept a life of solitude, unmet expectations with your partner,
lack of support and happiness at the home front, big changes at your place of work. Friends would have come to your help, only to get you into more trouble later on. Venus was with Saturn but left to join Rahu on the 28th of January. Venus conjunction with Saturn would have helped bring back some love and harmony into your relationship. Your own Rashi Lord Sun is moving into Kumbha on the 13th of February. The Sun will be with Saturn until the 14th of March. Please navigate this period very carefully as you are heading into a thunderstorm. And why do I say that? Saturn is preparing to leave Kumbha, and the Sun is now entering Kumbha. Kumbha is Saturn's own house. Even though the Sun is more powerful by all means, the Sun is essentially stepping into its enemy's territory. These are two important but powerful grahas, and they have quite the opposite personalities. If you want to let your relationship fail, you can just ignore Saturn's lessons and bulldoze your way through using the Sun's energy and ego. If you want to save your relationship, you must capitalize on all the hard work Saturn has done for more than 2.5 years. Now use the power of Sun to complement the power of Saturn. Sun brings hope, light, a new beginning. Use the Sun's transit to light up your relationship. Do not sit down and argue. Accept each other as equals. Call for truce. Take your partner out for a walk, to the movies, or anything that fancies you both. You have to initiate the move. Venus, meanwhile, is being exalted or very powerful in Meena. The conjunction of Venus and Rahu in your 8th house is already somewhat tricky, and especially when Guru was retrograde until about the 5th of February. Venus is leaving your 8th house only on the 31st of May. For the major part, while Venus is there in Meena, it is involved in Paviyartana Yoga with Jupiter. This is an exchange of lords between your 8th and 10th houses. The stage is already set for a sudden transformation related to your work. Saturn is then entering your 8th house by late March. This is also known as the Ashtama Shani. Sudden change in residence, change in job, allegations or troubles at the workplace, demotion, health issues, death in the family. You may face some, you may face all. Saturn's transformative power here is unleashed with some form of urgency. He is there to expose secrets about yourself and also about others. Now remember, when Saturn enters your 8th house, Venus and troublemaker Rahu are already there. Be careful with female bosses and employees. Avoid the office scandal. Venus is the cotton, Rahu is the fire, but Saturn is the punisher. You do something stupid, you face the consequences. You are about to discover how someone has been fooling you all this while, and the world is also about to discover your weaknesses. It may have to do with your job, a skill deficiency, whether you are going to pursue a change in job or take up an offer of transfer within your organization, or take up an offer to undergo further training. Please wake up and do something. The time to transform is now. The time to leave your comfort zone is now. The more you resist change, the more you will be punished. Saturn is going to rip you apart from relationships and issues that are slowing you down. If you are an assistant manager hoping to become a manager, all of a sudden you may find yourself demoted. And Saturn wants you to think, will I ever become the manager? Why not? What don't I have? What am I lacking? Or is it because I'm working at the wrong place? Is this the right organization for me? Where will I be in the next 10 years? What do I need to do about it? This is what Saturn wants you to think. Ashtama Shani is a wake-up call. You see, after the 8th transit, Shani has to move to the 9th transit. That will be in the year 2028. But 9th house has to do with achieving the higher goals in life, let it be skills or education. But what do you need to learn? What skills are you lacking? Shani will show it to you now during his 8th transit. And he shows it in a very embarrassing way. Now, Leo, you must also remember your Rashi Lord is the Sun. The Sun, the greatest of them all. Deep within you know how to deal with the challenges. You have the inherent capability to bring anyone down to their knees. You know how to manage stress, manage change, manage the damage to your reputation, manage the threat to your position. The key word here is to manage, not react. And you must put on your thinking cap before Ketu enters your own house, Leo, by the end of May. But before we talk about Ketu, let's take a closer look at your own Rashi Lord, the Sun. The Sun is the biggest graha in Vedic astrology. Not a planet, a graha. He is the one who gives light. He never goes retrograde. He is the supreme leader. He radiates with pure energy. He is weak in Thula or Libra, which means he is very strong in Mesha or Aries. The Sun enters your 8th house in mid-March. Here, he is entering into a battle with troublemaker Rahu. Initially, he is eclipsed by Rahu. But Sun, being the Sun, of course, will eventually throw light onto all the mischief Rahu had been causing. So in the last 2 weeks of March, you will have sudden moments of self-realization. If you seek divine help, you will be able to identify the problems you are facing. When Saturn enters the 8th house by end of March, you will go through a moment of self-doubt. Mental pressure will increase. Be prepared. Be extremely careful. Why? You just need to wait until mid-April when Sun enters your 9th house. Now this is a good thing. From mid-April to mid-May, you will encounter luck and validation. There are chances of sudden promotion, despite all the negative rumors right in the beginning. Your bosses will take notice of your hard work, let it be in the pursuit of higher education or at work. You will win favors from the government. Father's health and status will improve. Long journeys will bring in the desired results. So don't burn the bridges with people of authority. Sun will enter your 10th house by mid-May. And on the same day, Guru will enter your 11th house. This is going to be a game changer. Your career is definitely getting a boost. Use this period wisely. If you get a promotion, go for it. If you haven't got a promotion and you think you deserve one, ask for it. If you had been patient at your place of work but nothing is getting recognized and now you have this fantastic offer coming from another place, go for it. What about Saturn then? Isn't he in the 8th house? Yes, of course he is. But Sun is the father of Saturn. What the Sun gives, Saturn can only delay but cannot deny. Through the 8th house, Saturn is also demanding change. When good change comes your way, just take it. Furthermore, Saturn will turn retrograde between mid-July until late November. This will be the honeymoon period in your new job, your project, or career change. Guru's transit into your 11th house will also help your 5th and 7th houses. Guru is transiting in mid-May, by the way. Your children will prosper. You may also get a child. Relationship with your partner will improve by leaps and bounds. The only setback in all this is going to be you. Why do I say that? By the mid of May, both Rahu and Ketu are continuing their retrograde journey to enter your 7th and 1st houses respectively. First of all, Guru is already shining his favorable rays onto your 7th house after his May transit. Rahu enters the 7th house, initially trying to cause trouble in your partnership. But Saturn has done so much work. Saturn has cleansed your 7th house by then. If you are in a stable long-term relationship, Rahu shouldn't rock the strong foundation that has been built. But Rahu, being Rahu, will make you experiment with new associations. If you are looking for a new partner, of course it may benefit you, but never trust someone in the first instance. Always check the person's background carefully. Rahu can also bring about a change of behavior pattern in your partner. If previously Saturn made your partner slow, emotional, gloomy, Rahu will now fire up their character. All of a sudden, your partner will be full of ideas and rise to conquer the world. Be supportive, but be brave to put forward your thoughts in a constructive way. Make sure you have enough energy to deal with the demands of your partner. Exercise. What if you are still not attached? In this modern world, people often leave their home, they go abroad or work very far away from home. Now, Rahu's entry into the 7th house may indicate that you are going to find a partner outside your culture and norms. You will experiment a lot in relationships. Remember the lessons already given by Saturn. Don't try to maintain too many relationships. Take a step back, evaluate, and go for quality. Ketu is there to give you the intuition. Ketu will be entering your own Rashi Leo. Ketu is a sannyasi. He's more interested in spiritual development. So as soon as Guru is preparing your partner to make peace with you, your mind is drifting towards somewhere else. Ketu's effect is good. You introspect, re-evaluate, reinvent. You will be forced to let go of your ego and self-importance. You will be ready to sacrifice yourself for your partner, but balance things well. If you are married, you should be able to provide the physical pleasures too. Don't be so cold towards your partner and don't neglect your own hygiene and personality. Ketu isn't bad, Of course, Ketu can even make you a vagabond. That's why I talked about hygiene and personality. But Ketu gives you a different kind of transformation. You will have premonition. You will know things before it happens. This sudden realization may actually silence you. But don't withdraw completely from the material world, especially when you have others depending on your existence. Your partner, your children, your work colleagues. Perform your activities that will satisfy the demands of Ketu. Meditate, pray to Lord Ganesha, explore yoga. But this isn't the time to run behind a fake Guruji and ask him to fix your problems. Nobody can come and fix your problems. It is time for self-reflection and self-realization. That's what Ketu wants. But you must make a conscious effort to wake up from your dreams and grab the opportunity that Guru throws at you. So basically, while good things are happening, Ketu is demanding you to withdraw from the world. So here is where you must make a conscious effort to wake up and grab the opportunities that Guru throws at you. If you miss the boat, the next favorable Guru transit will be a good 2 to 3 years away. The Guru transit in 2025 is into your 11th house. This is a very favorable transit. Guru is the lord of your 5th and 8th houses. The 5th house signifies love, children, luck, creativity. Now the 5th is going into the 11th. Means you will benefit through children, through your luck and creativity. This is enough to counter the other effect of Guru, because Guru is also lord of the 8th. 8 in the 11th can also bring sudden luck or at least gains through a big transformation. Again, I'm saying embrace change and transformation. Later this year, Guru will make a brief transit into your 12th house. This is a special event which will happen between mid-October to the 5th of December. It's a good time to go on a pilgrimage. There will be a rise in expenditure, sudden expenditure, but you will be able to recover the money that you spend. Ensure that you have enough savings at all times though. In summary, managing transformation will be the main theme of 2025. The combination of Ketu and Saturn's transit will demand changes in your thinking, your attitude and approach, often in a very rapidly changing environment. Do not entertain negative thoughts, as spectacular events will also happen between mid-May to mid-October. Seek divine interventions and make some smart moves at the right time. Ketu's transit will open up a very high level of thinking. Seek within for answers. Trust your intuition more than the advice coming from the others. Good luck. Perhaps the best thing happening in Virgo this year is the departure of Ketu from your own Rashi. First half of the year will be better than the second half, but overall, you will have a lifeline thrown at you at various intervals this year. 2024 was the year of ups and downs between your own self and your partner. Ketu remains in your Rashi until mid-May this year. On one end, your process of self-reflection and spiritual cleansing should be complete. You would have enjoyed being alone and let your partner enjoy the limelight. Some of you would have devoted time and effort to your partner but failed to get the satisfaction for you, as there were periods where you were thrown into confusion, not knowing what to believe and what to follow. Towards the end of Rahu-Ketu transit, two beautiful things are happening. From the 28th of January until the 31st of May, your Yoga Karaka Venus or Shukra, the ruler of your 2nd and 9th houses, will be transiting your 7th house, Meena. This will signify a period of unlimited love and pleasant energy. In the midst of all the joy and celebrating, another more serious event will be unfolding. By the end of March, Saturn will also enter your 7th house. This will slowly bring some form of order, structure, and commitment in your relationship. Many of you will enter the next phase in your relationship, where you will begin to take a more serious look at yourselves and figure out where you are heading. I keep mentioning the 7th house. Now, who is the Lord of your 7th house? It's Guru, Jupiter. And where is he at the moment? He is doing a lucky 9th house transit in Rishaba. His steady hand will be there, especially between the 5th of February until the middle of May. You may fear Saturn or you may fear Rahu, but the Rahu and Saturn conjunction between the end of March until the end of May is happening in a safe house ruled by Jupiter. Your Yoga Karaka Venus is also in this safe house, and Venus is very powerful in here. He is exalted. Saturn is also your 5th lord, bringing you a certain amount of luck while he's in the 7th. Be brave. With God's grace, all will be well. Your partner may get unusually lucky. You need not fear your enemies as in the beginning. Saturn was already there in your 6th house. He helped you keep a firm grip over your enemies. Though he leaves your 6th house in end March and makes you somewhat vulnerable, Rahu will enter the 6th house by mid-May. Now Rahu is going to cause mischief, not to you, but to your enemies. You will now get the power to negotiate with your enemies, and your enemies will struggle to keep up with your ingenious methods of diversion and diplomacy. Guru, who begins 2025 in your 9th house, would have brought much favors through your elders and superiors. You would have been the favorite wherever you go. It would have been a smooth sailing for those pursuing higher studies or living abroad. By mid-May, he is entering your 10th house, initially bringing some stress at your workplace. Guru is demanding expansion. That will be the source of your stress, not in a bad way. You will strive to work hard to improve your comforts. You will not only gain the upper hand in winning over disputes and litigation, you will be able to negotiate an amicable solution and even bring to an end a long-standing dispute. Others will call you in to become a mediator. Saturn will undergo retrogression between the middle of July until the end of November. This will bring up some past issues in your relationship. But with troublemaker Rahu well out of your way in the 7th house, you will gain clarity and recognize ways to solve those issues amicably. Do not let this period sidetrack you from your job, as a promotion is in the cards. Why do I mention a promotion? Because by end October, Guru is making a short journey into your 11th house, Cancer. Guru is exalted, very powerful in Cancer. He is there like a genie, ready to grant you your 3 little wishes. But he will remain in Cancer or Karka only until the first week of December. So overall, November will be an exceptionally lucky month for you. Some of you may even get married or at least exchange vows in an engagement ceremony or something like that. Do not let this opportunity pass. Board the train when it arrives. So why am I stressing on the importance of November? Because your Rashi Lord, which is Mercury, does a total of 3 retrogrades this year. The first retrograde will go on from the 15th of March until the 7th of April. The second retrograde will be from July 18 until the 11th of August. And your final retrograde will be during your lucky November, specifically between the 10th of November to the 30th. Now, retrograde periods are times when you can miscalculate, miscommunicate, or misperceive. You may fail to recognize a wonderful opportunity staring right at your face, or you may chicken out from an interview or an important engagement. Or maybe you attend an important interview but end up saying all the wrong things. Be careful. By December, Saturn would have ended his retrograde motion and Guru will return to your 10th house. But you will be in a better state of mind to face the ongoing challenges. And it'll be worth facing those challenges if you had enjoyed those golden moments in November. December onwards signal a more intense period in your relationship. Weaknesses will be exposed, giving you the opportunity to take remedial measures and focus on building a rock-solid foundation that will help you weather the storm when you enter Ashtama Shani in 2028. Please stop whinging. Whatever problems you are about to face in 2025 will be nothing compared to the pressure building up towards 2028. Truth, honesty, hard work, prudence, dedication is the key. You pour all those ingredients into your partnership. And finally, let's not forget Kethu. Kethu will be entering your 12th house Simha after Guru's transit in mid-May. Now Simha is ruled by the Sun, and the Sun, among other things, signifies people in authority, including your father. Be mindful of your father's health, especially as the Sun transits Simha or Leo between mid-August to mid-September. Kethu's 12th house transit should bring you calm and inner peace if you tend to get involved in meditation, service to the community, and the underprivileged. If you feel disturbed, embark on a long journey and you will slowly understand the true meaning of life. It will come to you if you remain observant. Don't depend on others to teach you the true meaning of life. It has to be a journey of self-realization. Help others in distress. When I say others, I'm also referring to animals. Happiness awaits those who work long hours in a faraway land, at a hospital, in a religious ashram, or any other place where there is some form of isolation. Some of you may be pushed to leave your home and take up residence or a job in a foreign land. In case you feel somewhat dejected by some of the predictions for 2025, let me first assure you about 2026. In 2026, Guru will once again transit into your 11th house. This will be a major transit, a spectacular one. Many of you will get married, bear children, and get blessed with luck and creativity. You will get a glimpse of this golden era when Guru enters your 11th house for a while between October to early December in 2025. Use the various opportunities this year to position yourself well so you can enjoy the golden period which will come again in 2026. In 2025, for now, Guru demands focus and expansion at work. Saturn demands that you work hard to fix your relationship, while Kethu demands spiritual progress. Pay attention to all three while you enjoy Rahu's favorable transit in your 6th house.
Dear Thulam, 2025 should be a better for you overall. As you enter 2025, Saturn remains firmly seated in your 5th house Kumbha. Guru is in your 8th house Rishaba. Guru has just completed retrograde motion in the first week of February. Rahu ensured you were free from enemies, but the consolation here is surprisingly from Saturn. Saturn, the lord of the 5th, is currently transiting his own house, Kumbha. While delaying luck and causing sorrow in matters concerning love, children and creativity, Saturn is also a slow reformer. As he is preparing to leave Kumbha, the dust should be finally settling in matters related to the 5th house. Those who were chasing their new love would have found the last 2.5 years a bit challenging, to put it mildly. You would have learned the value of sacrifice in love. The persistent ones would have come out victorious. Some of you may be finally expecting a new child, or if you're already a parent, you will be able to see all your hard work in parenting pay off. In fact, you should have shared some happy moments while Venus was there with Saturn till the end of January. You would have picked up a creative hobby which involves meticulous labor and intensive work. When Saturn leaves, Saturn gives. What Saturn gives remains yours forever. and only you will know its true value. So if you have finally found your true love or got a child you've been praying for all these years, congratulations. Mars will complete his retrograde journey in Bhagyasthana 9th house by the 24th of February, opening the curtain and pushing away the gloom and doom. Mars then enters your 10th house Karka by early April. This is perhaps an opportunity to get a job if you are currently unemployed. By June 7th, Mars is entering Simha, your 11th house. Now let's backtrack to March for a while. Saturn leaves your 5th house to enter Meena by the end of March 2025. If previously your enemies were confused and misdirected by Rahu, now they are completely going to pack their bags and leave. Not only that, you will get relief from debts and diseases. You will work hard to free yourself from debts, or at least to shut down your critics. Many will start an exercise routine, but even if the thought has not crossed your mind, of course, I certainly encourage you to think about it. Saturn will also make you fearless. You can win court cases and arguments. This is a good time to pursue unfair dismissal or even get reinstated into your old job. But maybe you want to delay those actions until December? Listen on and I will tell you why. People in the service industry will prosper. This will be a good time to land a new job or start a business related to the service industry. The business may also turn profitable once Kethu enters your 11th house before June 2025. Now, let me elaborate more on Guru. By mid-May, Guru will prepare to leave your 8th house and move into Mithuna. Before I proceed, let me explain a little about Guru's special place in Thula Rashi. Guru is a natural benefic but a functional malefic. What on earth is that? Just imagine this jovial, good-hearted character who is somehow asked to become a disciplinary teacher. Yes, there are many of you who can vouch how bad Guru can be. Well, Guru is a huge planet. Bigger than Saturn? Yes, bigger than Saturn. You don't want to mess with this guy. You can fit more than 1,000 Earths into Jupiter. That's how huge Jupiter is. Imagine that. Guru is the lord of the 3rd and the 6th for Tulam. He isn't exactly your friend, but he's expected to cause trouble because he has been asked to. That's the meaning of a functional malefic. But Guru is synonymous with Purva Punya. He is the one who channels the benefits derived from your good deeds in your previous life. So when he's malefic, he doesn't carry a candy cane, but he carries candy and a cane. So this is the guy who punches you on the face, but also rewards you. Yeah, it's complicated. With Guru entering Mithuna, we have the Lord of the 3rd and the 6th entering the 9th and looking at Tulam, Dhanush and Kumbha. Guru's 5th aspect falls on your own Rashi, expanding your thought process. Though you should curtail the argumentative streak which will emerge in your character. So first of all, he will bring your mind towards higher goals, be it in religion, higher studies, long journeys. But he is also the Lord of the 6th. This is a good time for those studying the prevention of diseases, law, arbitration, human resource, public relations, administration and political science. Next is his 7th aspect which falls on Dhanush. You will embark on long journeys to reconnect with your siblings. You will have the courage to undertake big efforts, big competitions. You will be all of a sudden like, why not? Of course I can do that. But if you are really going to embark on a big effort, do check your birth chart as well as your Mahadasha. Dhanush will be under the influence of both Saturn and Jupiter. But of course, Saturn's effect will last much longer because his next transit is only by 2028. Guru's 9th aspect falls on your 5th house Kumbha, boosting your creativity and improves luck in matters related to love and children. Now, who enters Kumbha by the end of May? Rahu. Rahu will stir up some issues in matters related to your children, but Guru's ninth aspect will keep Rahu under check until June 2026. Pay attention to what your children are up to, but avoid clashes as the issues can drag on for a long time. Rahu will fire up your creativity though. This is good if you want to bring up your creativity to the next level, or you are looking for fresh ideas to revive your creativity. In terms of love matters, to those who previously failed due to Saturn's influence, perhaps you can now try again. But beware of Rahu's smokescreen. He will make you fall for any person who tries to be nice to you. You don't care about your ethnicity, religious beliefs, or social status. You will just fall. What will Kethu be doing then? Kethu is entering your 11th house Simha. This is a favorable transit for Kethu. Business will flourish. There will be success in real estate. But Kethu, being Kethu, will not let you focus on the profits. You will try to use the profits to further your non-profit activities. Kethu will create some disconnect or detachment from your friends, but you will also go out of your way to help your friends in distress. You will be interested in friendship that opens up spiritual upliftment. You will befriend odd-looking people or eccentrics. You will be able to strike up a conversation with anyone. It is time for some friends to leave your life, but you will not be overly affected by it. Here, I would like to remind you that Mars, or Chevai, is also entering Simha in June. It forms a conjunction with Kethu. This conjunction will last until the end of July. So in the months of June and July, you may see a sudden rise in luck and profits, or things could go the other way too, especially if you are not supported by these grahas and the current Mahadasha. What does Mars signify? Speed, knives, weapon, fire, action, destruction. Mars-Kethu conjunction can unleash an unexpected form of energy. If you are running the Mahadasha for a retrograde planet and the planet is in a favorable position in your own birth chart, this conjunction can bless you with sudden luck and profits. The next major event is the Saturn retrograde, which will occur between mid-July to end October. This will open up some old issues with your children, but you will now have enough maturity to go back and fix them. An ex-lover may re-enter your life at this point. Don't get distracted, as it will not last that long. During the Saturn retrograde, your 8th house is being left vulnerable. Getting into a fling or an affair can leave you exposed to an embarrassing scandal. The Saturn retrograde period also causes temporary setbacks and reversal of your health condition and progress in court matters. The uncertainty will worsen towards mid-October when Guru leaves your 9th house temporarily, only to return by the 5th of December. So you may feel a temporary loss of luck and direction around this time. If you are running the dasa of a retrograde planet, or Saturn itself is retrograde in your birth chart, the Saturn retrogression should instead be lucky for you. So between mid-July to end November, you need to first observe the reversal of your fortunes. Before planning something major, observe first. It is best not to commence any new work between the mid of October and 5th of December, as the unsteady trends can be very confusing for you. A more stable phase will commence from the 5th of December onwards. In summary, for Thulam, you need to look out for a few major trends this year. First will be the change in your routine caused by the Saturn transit. Second will be the entry of Guru into your Bhagyasthana. So when you visit the temple, don't just pray to Saturn, pray to Guru as well. He holds the key to your prosperity. Third will be Rahu, or the Rahu-Kethu transit, which will set the tone for your inner conflicts over the next 1.5 years. So Rahu-Kethu is something to do with undercurrents. What is happening internally? What is boiling internally? The Saturn retrograde, Mars-Kethu conjunction, and Guru's minor transit into Cancer are sensitive periods which you need to negotiate with care. The last three events I outlined will happen between the months of June until late November. Do not forget the basics. Follow Saturn's demands to take care of your health. Seek divine help. Consult a professional astrologer first if you are planning to commence a big project. Good luck. Dear Vrichika Rashi, your prediction is perhaps one of the longest I have in this series for 2025. I like to tell things as it is, or as I see it. You may not like what you're about to hear, but I've taken a lot of effort to point out areas of concern and suggest certain remedies. As the curtains open for the year 2025, you would have been in low spirits. Your Yoga Karaga Guru or Jupiter was going through a retrograde in your 7th house, Rishaba. The retrograde fortunately came to an end by the 5th of February, reversing your losses and improving your luck in matters involving love, children, creativity, and partnership. Saturn is nearing the completion of his journey in your 4th house. This is called the Ardhashtama Shani. Some say the stress and suffering of a 4th house Saturn can be as bad as the Saturn return itself. Saturn would have demanded your attention in matters related to your home, mother, land, motherland, vehicles, or pretty much any object or environment that was providing you comfort. Some of you had to miss your mother's home-cooked food. Your vehicles may have broken down frequently. Some had the stress of changing your residence, frequent issues with your health, delays, and frustration at your workplace. Saturn is the lord of your 4th house, Kumbha. He wasn't there to actually torture you. He was urging you to do some spring cleaning. Learn to appreciate the value of things which provide you comfort. Now you will appreciate your mother's care and love. You know the importance of maintenance. You know who is the best mechanic for your car, how to fix a blocked pipe at home, how to get rid of pests and termites. You can't blame Saturn for showing you what needs to be fixed, can you? Your 5th house, meanwhile, is firmly under the spell of our good magician Rahu. Your children would have been up to all sorts of naughty tricks, or you would have run after someone madly in love, only to discover the other person had absolutely no interest in you. The saving grace was actually from mysterious Kethu. Together with Yoga Karaga Guru, Kethu was firmly blessing you with luck. Did you grow fond of Lord Ganesha, especially in the last 1 year? Leave your feedback under the comment section below. At the time this video is published, Mars, your Rashi Lord, is going through retrograde motion in unfavorable 8th house. I hope you have not been subject of a vilifying scandal or financial fraud. Mars has been trapped in this back and forth journey between your 8th and 9th houses for the past few months. Stay strong. The retrograde ends on the 24th of February. Mars enters Cancer by early April and gets debilitated or weakened there. This could cause an overall sense of weakness for you. Exercise well. Learn to control that anger. The good news is there will be no more retrograde for Mars for the rest of 2025. Now, let's dissect the big transits one by one. Saturn is entering your 5th house, Meena, by the 29th of March 2025. First of all, your mental stress will reduce gradually. Saturn will now bring structure, discipline, and order into matters related to your 5th house. With Saturn, it's always about change management. He makes you change your ways by first destroying or disrupting your routine. You're going through your first love, for example, forever waiting for the text message, phone call, spending all your time and energy on that one person, but now he creates a friction between you and your lover. Saturn is now asking you, shall I test your love? Can I help you identify if this love is true love. But the fifth house isn't only for love. It also governs matters related to luck in speculation, children, and creativity. These are all the little areas he can disturb you. He can disturb your children's health, for example. Or if your children are already grown up, he will now teach you the value of detachment. Your children will now have to leave you, or they are now going to listen to you less than before. How are you going to deal with that situation? From the fifth house, Saturn will be looking at your seventh house of partnership, but Guru will be protecting your seventh house until the mid of May. If you need to come clean with your partner, perhaps you should do it now. Saturn will gradually help you cut off unprofitable partnerships, especially if you are doing business. In love and marriage, Saturn demands commitment, but Saturn also separates. In the modern world, this may mean your partner will commence further studies, travel far to work, or face problems which demand a little sacrifice from yourself. Both of you will come together well if you participate in charitable work. Saturn's seventh aspect will fall on your 11th house of luck. Ketu will protect your 11th house, but he will leave your 11th completely by the end of May. What happens? You enjoy less support from your friends. Your friends can instead become a burden for you. And who is more important, friends or the partner? Saturn also blocks your level of luck through the 11th. So with speculation out, luck running low, those who trade stocks, currency, or invest in cryptocurrency may take a hit. The issues which I just mentioned will catch up with you pretty quickly because Rahu is still there in your fifth house. Rahu is a catalyst. When Rahu meets Saturn, Rahu will be like, yes, boss. Okay, boss. I will do it immediately, boss. So until Rahu leaves your fifth house by end of May, things are going to get a little rocky here. Saturn and Rahu are going to gang up and demand changes with some form of urgency. The next big transit involves your Yoga Karaga Guru or Jupiter. By mid-May, he will leave your seventh house and go into your eighth. If Guru is also favorable to you, if assessed on your birth chart, he will have the power to bring on a big transformation in your life, a sudden transformation. You may also benefit from inheritance or an insurance payout. If Guru isn't exactly your friend, you are in trouble. You may have to face big losses, damage to your reputation, becoming a victim of fraud, a huge increase in your debt. From the fifth house, Saturn will be throwing his aspect on Dhanush. Guru will also be looking at Dhanush. But Guru is looking at Dhanush from the 8th position. What is Dhanush? Dhanush is your second house, your wealth. Be careful. If you don't have the backing of a favorable Mahadasha, you may even lose your property. Unable to service your loan. House going for auction. Trouble from the taxation office. I am telling you as it is. So you can take the remedial measures from now. While Guru and Ketu is still supplying you the luck and finances you need, wake up and fix your finances. If you have been delaying your tax payments, go settle it now. If you have received a letter of demand from the bank, go settle it now. To those working overseas, if you have been violating your visa conditions, take the remedial measures now. If you love gambling and speculation, put a stop to it now. Because what happens next? Rahu and Ketu transit. When does that happen? It begins a few days after Guru's transit. What are they doing? Rahu will be entering your 4th house Kumbha and Ketu is entering your 10th house Simha. How long are they staying in those houses? 1.5 years, until the end of 2026. What are they going to do? Rahu will continue to create some havoc through matters related to your comforts. Your mother's health may suffer. But wait for a second. By now, Saturn would have already helped you identify or show you what needs to be fixed. If you are aware of a particular health condition which is affecting your mother, go and do something about it now. Rahu may also cause frequent change in residence during his transit. If you are living in a rented home, you will face troubles from the landlord, rental increase, issues with electrical wiring. The same goes to your car. Of course, some of you will use the money to buy a good car. Not any other car, but a branded, reputable car. Nowadays, everyone is talking about electric vehicles. Yes, you will develop a sudden interest in those cars, but do a reality check first. I have so far identified so many other issues that demands your urgent attention. On top of that, I have already warned you about Guru's 8th transit. Prioritize. Now, let's stop for a while and see what's in store in 2026. Guru is entering Karka by June 2026. Yes, he will enter Karka this year itself between mid-October until 5th of December, but that's only temporary. The main transit is only happening next year. This will be one of the most luckiest transit for you. That's your Yoga Karaga entering the 9th house, Karka. Guru is exalted in Karka. Karka means Cancer. Whatever it is, promotion, luck, foreign trip, graduation, increase in your status, all that will happen by mid-2026. Some of you may even recover double of what you have lost by then. But for now, let's come back to reality. I only talked about Rahu. I didn't mention about Ketu's 10th house transit by the end of May 25. He's entering your Karmasthana. If you're not alert, you may even lose your job. And to make matters worse, between June and July, Mars is also joining Ketu in your 10th house. You pick up a fight at your place of work and you will be finished. Are you involved in corruption and bribery? You better get a lawyer. The universe is going to come hard on your shoulders. But yet, some will prosper. Who will prosper? Those who are employed in a non-profitable organization, nursing homes, hospitals, correctional facility, drug rehabilitation, mathematicians, actuarial scientists, human rights organization workers, labor right organization, veterinarians, farmers, migration agents. Yes, Ketu will give his blessings to all those people who work behind the scenes. If you want to learn more, click on the link above and learn more about Ketu in the 10th house. It's a weird combination. If you want to keep your job, dedicate yourself to service. Don't think about monetary reward. Don't think about recognition. Learn to give extra than what is demanded by your current job. That sounds like a stupid idea in the modern world, isn't it? Now, let me explain. Ketu. Ketu does not act like a food vending machine. You put in some coins, you press your option, and then, bdum, you get your choice. No. Ketu is not like that. Ketu is like a hundial. You know what is hundial? That collection box that you find in the temple. You put in some cash, you pray for blessings, and you walk away. What blessings? That is God's wish. In which form the blessings will come, we don't know. So, that extra effort that you put in through your karmasthana will be returned to you in another form through another house. Earlier, did I not talk about troubles through mother, home, children, problems in your liquidity, your finances? Who will come down and solve those problems for you? You want a handyman to come fix your house? You need to pay him. Same thing here. You want to derive benefits from this world? You got to give something back. How do you give back? Where do you give? Here is where you need to check the position of Ketu. He's the one holding the collection box, the cosmic collection box. And right now, he's going to stand in your 10th house. You have nothing to give? Give your time. Give your energy. Go and volunteer in a temple or any other charitable organization. Have you heard of soup kitchens for the homeless? Have you volunteered in one? Go, try it. Saturn goes through retrograde between mid-July until the end of November. This can reduce the pressure that you face due to Saturn's 5th transit. In fact, there can be a reversal of fortunes if your Saturn is retrograde in your birth chart. You still need to remain cautious in June and July due to the Mars-Ketu conjunction. Meanwhile, Guru's mini transit into Cancer between the mid of October to the 5th of December can supply sudden luck and even help you redeem some of the mounting losses prior to mid of October. Use this window of opportunity wisely. The Guru mini transit here should be used like a band-aid for a quick recovery, not to launch a new project or make a new purchase. The roller coaster ride of 2025 will come to an end by the 5th of December. Before I go on to the summary, I'd like to relate my experience going to Delhi for the first time many years ago. Little did I realize that I was going there right in the middle of summer. When I reached, I asked my driver, "Is it hot?" He said, "No, it's not hot. It's very, very hot." I immediately liked this guy. So that summarizes what I'm trying to convey for your Rashi. Yes, 2025 will be challenging overall. Guru and Ketu will remain your source of strength, especially until May 2025. June and July may turn out to be the toughest months, while a little breather is expected between mid-October to mid-November. Though partnerships and love can be put to test, long-distance relationships may prosper. Take care of the performance of your children, especially if they are struggling to cope in their studies. Those who are employed will find it easier to cope if you can accept there is minimal chances of receiving an appreciation or promotion. In fact, keeping your job should be your immediate priority as you struggle to balance your finances for the major part for this year. Despite all the challenges that you face, your 6th, 9th, and 12th houses receive no ill effects after all the major transits are complete. Your health should remain steady. There should be no interruption in higher studies and pilgrimages. Listen carefully to the advice imparted by your father, elders, or superiors. Good luck. Dear Dhanush, have you heard about Achilles, the immortal warrior from Greek mythology? Achilles was finally weakened by an arrow directed not at his leg, not at his foot, but the part just above the heel. This is now known as the Achilles tendon. If you get an injury here, you won't be able to walk. Saturn is like your left Achilles tendon. Guru is your right Achilles tendon. Over the next few years, there are plenty of periods when both your Achilles tendons are strong. Make a run while both are strong, because mostly one of them is going to give you pain. At the time of publication of this video, your Saturn is in a formidable third placement, giving you unassailable strength and determination. But he is moving into your 4th house, Meena, on the 29th of March. Guru is in your 6th house, Rishaba, inviting diseases and enmity. There were frequent differences in opinion, which maybe got a bit out of hand and resulted in regrettable outcomes. Hopefully, this hasn't affected your work environment. Rahu isn't helping either, as he is already causing trouble at home and may be affecting the health of your mother. As though all this isn't enough, Mars is in retrograde in your 7th, further fueling anger, losses, and aggression through partners. Fortunately, his retrograde motion ends on the 24th of February and he will move into your 8th house, Karka. This happens in early April. This will be the start of a cooling down period, and I hope you didn't burn any bridges. The anger which manifested would have put a strain on your relationship with your partner. Not only that, the flashes of anger would have even be directed internally towards yourself. Did you or your partner recover from a minor accident, surgery, or fever recently? I'm just wondering, if it is true, you should be able to recover from this episode from the 24th of February onwards. Please leave your feedback in the comments below. Venus is currently exalted in Meena, giving you an opportunity to spend some happy moments at home. But Venus leaves Meena by the end of May. Saturn enters Meena by the end of March. So that's earlier than the departure of Venus. In the initial few months, there will be a gradual loss of your inner strength, which is replaced by a rise of problems affecting mother, home, cars, and comforts. When I say comforts, I'm referring to all those creature comforts that you enjoy. That hot shower that you enjoy at the start of your day. That moment of peace you get just before you go to sleep. That satisfaction you get where there are no leaking water taps. The fridge runs well. The car just starts promptly each morning and safely gets you to places on time. Now, do you get an idea what all Saturn can do to you? He can disturb any of those little comforts. From the 4th house, Saturn will be looking at your 6th house of disputes and illnesses, the 10th house of profession, and your own Rashi Dhanush. These are the extra features which Saturn can disturb during his transit. So between the 29th of March until the mid of May, your 10th house receives an unfavorable aspect of both Saturn and Guru. They are both now going to work together and affect your karmasthana, the 10th house. This can adversely affect your profession. Suppress your anger, bite the bullet and wait. Things will begin to look much better when your Rashi Lord moves to the 7th house by mid-May. If you are impatient, you may either lose your job around this time, or you may make a wrong move and decide to switch jobs. If not supported by a good Mahadasha, you may end up in a precarious position. Who is your Rashi Lord? Guru. Which houses does he own? Your Rashi Dhanush and 4th house Meena. Why did I say wait until Guru's transit? Because after his transit in mid-May, from your 7th house, Guru will aspect Dhanush and neutralize the mental stress imposed by Saturn. Now, you have Guru looking at your 10th house from the unfavorable 6th transit. We don't want that. We want Guru to move to the 7th and then look at Dhanush, your own Rashi. That will be much better. You will be able to think much more clearly. Where will be Saturn by this time? In your 4th house. And again, I want to assure you, the 4th house is owned by Guru. When the landlord is strong, the tenant cannot dictate too many terms and conditions. Guru is the landlord, Saturn is the tenant. From mid-May until July 2026, Guru will be in your 7th house. From the 7th, he will give his aspect to your 11th, 1st and 3rd houses. He mends your relationship with your partner. Concentrate on that. This could be even a lucky period for you to marry. Or, if you're already married, it's time to go on a short trip away from home. Rekindle your love. Fix that broken bridge. Guru's aspect on your 11th house brings luck and even a promotion for some of you. So that's why I said, don't burn the bridges at your place of work. 11th house also signifies friends. Yes, your circle of friends will grow. And you will benefit from them through one way or another. Some of you will form profitable partnerships with your friends. The combined Guru-Saturn effect on your 1st house will give you a deep analytical mind, capable of complex thought processes, which will enlighten you about the problems which you're about to face. So you're going to gain the power of deep thinking, deep thought. Your partner will be firmly by your side. This is very good. Your partner is firmly by your side. And Guru's 11th aspect on your 3rd house Kumbha will further elevate your luck related to your own efforts. The next 2 grahas, Rahu and Kethu, will complete their transit by the end of May. Rahu's 3rd house transit is very good. He is swapping places with Saturn. So Saturn is there in the 3rd house until the 29th of March. Then he leaves to the 4th house. Rahu is already in the 4th house. He will enter the 3rd house towards the end of May. So your 3rd house is very well protected throughout. You will continue to rise above your problems through your own efforts. There will be success through competitions, not success through disputes, disagreements and court cases. So if you're a chess competition player or you're a sports person, you will have a good year. And how long does Rahu stay in your third house? 18 months. That's pretty much through the whole of 2026. What is Ketu up to then? This is a little tricky. Ketu will be entering your ninth house. There can be a huge disconnect between you and your father or father figures. Either they will leave your life for good or you won't be able to access them for moral support. It can be a tough year for those pursuing higher education. So does it mean all Dhanush Rashi people will fall in their university exams or get their thesis rejected? No. Ketu is a wild card. Sometimes he grants you a spectacular capability of higher order thinking and success in higher studies. But he will only grant you those things after you put in a huge amount of sacrifice. This is the kind of sacrifice that requires your heart and soul. You do that wholeheartedly, you will be really successful. Ketu will be very powerful in your ninth house Simha. While he is in Kanni, he was under the influence of Guru. What can overcome Ketu's disruptive powers then? It will be the power you gain through the third house, your own efforts, your own sincere efforts. Not the kind of efforts you put in because somebody asked you to do this and do that. Ketu is like, son or Beti, I'm not giving you any further advice because I want to see you rise through your own efforts. So much so you rise to a level where you can advise others what to do. I will reward you handsomely once you get things right. But I'm just taking a step back. I'm just watching. That will be Ketu. If nobody is there to give support and advice, then who else can? Well, have you stopped going to the house of God? Mandir, temple, church, gurdwara, or whatever your belief is? Or even if you do, have you lost faith in God? Don't you believe that God sometimes gives you the right advice through the universe? Through a series of events? Or random people who suddenly walk to you and say something which leaves you completely mind blown? Be sensitive to your surroundings. The guide and advice will reach you at the right time. If you have faith, if you can connect with your soul and the universe. Big words here. Yeah, that's Ketu for you. He is complicated. When was the last time you spent some moments alone, interacting with your soul? Sit somewhere quiet, contemplate. If you know how to meditate, well, good. But you don't have to go to a class to learn, to be able to talk to your soul. You just need some time alone. Anyone can do it. Alright, let's go on to the second half of 2025. Saturn is turning retrograde from mid-July until the end of November. Here, the emphasis will be for you to relook at a big project or effort which you started off over the last few years. But you had to abandon that project due to misdirection or lack of confidence, etc. Were you looking at plans to shift residence, build or purchase a new house, or change your car, and then you left the idea because it appeared too complicated? Now you can use the power of your analytical mind and fresh ideas to draw up a game plan. Whether you want to put your thoughts into action or when you want to initiate the action depends on you. But I will give more advice on that soon. For now, I'd advise you that you first study the trends between June and July because during this period, Mars will be forming a powerful conjunction with Ketu. This can be quite bad for the health of your father, and you need to be prepared to attend to urgent matters back at home. You will be able to get back to the drawing board by August and September. However, another interesting transit happens by the mid of October. Guru will be moving into your 8th house Karka for a few weeks. That's a very strong placement for Guru, Karka. He will return to your favorable 7th house only by the 5th of December. So when Guru goes on leave, that is between mid-October until the 5th of December, that is a sensitive period for you. Be careful with situations that can put you in debt, bad name, and depression. So that's why I said you can use the Saturn retrograde to think and strategize, not exactly to rise and spring into action. The Mars-Ketu conjunction and Guru's mini transit into Karka both has the ability to deliver you shocks which can derail your well thought out plans. From the 5th of December, though there will be ongoing issues, at least life will return into a more stable trajectory. In summary, 2025 will be a year for you to douse the flames arising from disputes, disagreements, and animosity. People who are upset with you can come back and cause you so much harm, especially in the months of June and July, and again from mid-October until the 5th of December. Your partner will not only remain your pillar of support, but also the source of your sudden luck. Saturn's transit does disrupt the sense of calm and normalcy you have been enjoying in the last 2.5 years. You will need to rely on your own intelligence and self-efforts to weather the storm. Friends will come forward to lend you support, but refrain from creating new enemies, as this can turn into a source of your sorrow later on. Whether your mind is set on buying a new house, renovating your current house, or changing your car, spare a thought about the maintenance of these possessions as you lose the strength given by Guru towards the middle of 2026. Good luck. Dear Makara, have you looked into the past and compared your old self to what you are right now after 7.5 years? It was quite the journey, wasn't it? You are now toughened inside out. Though many of you were stressing about Saturn going through the Kumbha, he is your Yoga Karaka. Your speech by now should be more confident and measured. You now know how to live within your means and limited comforts. The importance of doing more and talking less. The importance of family, your responsibility towards family, but also the importance of being not too attached to them. As Saturn enters Meenam, your third house, by the end of March, this heralds the end of your 7.5-year transformative process. This is the end of Saturn return or Sarishati for you. You are now ready to conquer the world. Journeys will become smoother. When you embark on a journey, you are well prepared for the delays, upsets, and unexpected expenditure. The good news is, most of it will not happen anymore. Or even if it happens, you are not going to bother about it. You know how to make the best out of delays. You have learned the importance of Plan B. Saturn's third transit in Meena is one of the best transits you can ask for. In fact, Rahu and an exalted Venus are already there in Meena, ready to welcome the arrival of their big boss. The period between end of March to mid-May is a period for celebration indeed. The third house is an Upachaya Sthana. Now Saturn is enticing you to go out there and make your money, responsibly of course. He is there to help you, not slow you down. Many of you will start your first job. Or if you have been working for someone, now the mind will drift towards starting your own business. But the magnitude of the success will of course depend on your current Mahadasha and how well is the Dasha Lord placed in your birth chart. So please don't say, oh, I listened to this channel and I eventually lost all my money because they said go start a business. And then my business failed altogether, completely. I'm merely saying the conditions are favorable. Saturn in the third house boosts your non-verbal communication. So if you're writing a thesis, a book, or involved in any sort of media productions, the next few years are going to be much favorable to you. But after all the hard work I put in, now I want to reward myself, I want to buy a new car. I want to renovate my house. Go on a holiday. Wait. Saturn will enter your fourth house ARIES in 2028. You can go on holiday, that's fine. Pursue long travel, yes, of course. But when it comes to moving into a new house, pursuing renovations and buying a new car, Saturn is coming to teach those lessons in 2028. Nobody is stopping you from buying a new car, but if you need to buy one, go get a good one, because you lack the knowledge of how to maintain a car properly. That lesson will come in 2028 onwards. Saturn's entry into Meena does not necessarily disturb your relationship with your siblings, but you will engage in a healthy competition and attempt to rise above them in a good way. Previously, you have been busy dealing with the Saturn return. Now is the time to catch up on your progress. In fact, Saturn grants you vairagya, perseverance, determination. You will undertake long and difficult tasks and complete them successfully. It is also a good time to pursue foreign residence, or to those already living in a foreign land, now is the time to extend your visa or change the type of your visa. Make sure your passport is current, and to some of you who never thought about settling down overseas, just try going on a holiday. If you like what you see, come back and start the necessary steps now, because Saturn will support you. Even if the process is a little slow, pursue it. Because once Saturn enters Aries in 2028, he wants you to leave your comforts, home, mother, motherland. So it will work out. Saturn does go into retrograde between mid-July to the end of November. This period will signify a return of the old issues you are dealing with while going through the Saturn return. There's nothing to fear. He is merely giving you a chance to go back and fix something you're still unhappy about. Of course, there will be a temporary slowing down of projects that you start between April and June, but never mind. You start a journey, and as soon as you start, you get a flat tire. So what? You cancel the journey? No. You fix the flat tire and move on. Now let's talk about Guru's transit. Guru is the lord of the 12th and the 3rd houses. Your 12th house is Dhanush. 3rd house is Meena. Guru, who isn't exactly your friend, was actually doing you a big favor in the last 1 year. He is currently in your 5th house, Rishaba, indirectly helping you come out quicker from the Saturn return. It's like you are trying to get out from this boat, wobbling boat. Guru was like this person who stands on the platform, holding your hand firmly so you can take your final step with confidence. Guru was protecting your 9th, 11th and the 1st houses. He would have given you confidence, big ideas, a sense of direction in your higher studies, boost your luck, and also help improve your relationship with your elders, superiors and preceptors. You may have felt the loss of Guru's support while he went into a retrograde phase recently, but that phase has ended in early February this year. By mid-May, Guru is moving into your 6th house. And a few days afterwards, Rahu and Kethu are also completing their transit into Kumbha and Simha respectively. Guru will remain in the 6th house Mithuna until the end of May 2026. He does leave Mithuna temporarily for a few weeks between mid-October to the 5th of December this year. We will look into it in a while. As Guru enters the 6th house, he can potentially stir up trouble through health, litigations, disagreements. You can very easily pick up a big fight or stir controversy wherever you go. From the 6th, Guru will be looking at the 10th, 12th and the 2nd houses. So your arguments and disagreements has the potential to affect not only your work environment, but can also lead to big financial loss. And here, you need to pay attention again to Rahu and Kethu. Rahu and Kethu transit is longer than that of Guru. Their transit is for 18 months. Guru's transit is usually only about 12 months. Where is Rahu going to? Rahu is entering your 2nd house, Kumbha. He is getting ready to stir trouble through your speech, family, finances. On top of that, he is getting a boost from Guru, who is in the 6th house. Watch that credit card. If possible, don't even get one. Go for a debit card instead. If you need to communicate your ideas with someone, put it down in writing so you're not easily misunderstood. Because I said Saturn is there in your 3rd, boosting your power in non-verbal communication. Whereas Rahu causes problems through your direct communication, your verbal communication. People can misunderstand you easily. With the Saturn return coming to an end, some of you may get overconfident in your finances. Well, things are definitely looking good until Guru's transit in mid-May. After that, please stay away from speculation. Along with Rahu's transit, Kethu, meanwhile, will be entering Simha, which is your 8th house. If you are expecting a windfall through inheritance or insurance fraud, you might as well forget that altogether, because Rahu in the 2nd will also entice you to make money through unfair and illegal means. Just don't. Rahu in the 2nd entices you to show your wealth. Reach out for the credit card, spend to impress others. After all the hard work you went through the last 7.5 years, is it so important to spend for others? Those you are trying to impress, were they there for you in your difficult journey? Think before you spend. And do you know who will be joining Kethu in the months of June and July? Mars. That's a very powerful combination happening right in your 8th house. It can even lead to a major surgery. Please make sure you have the appropriate savings or health cover while you negotiate this period. Is Rahu in the 2nd completely bad? No. Rahu can help you identify new sources of income. He will give you the energy to go out there and make money. But he also behaves like a marriage broker. He brings you about 5 proposals and makes some of the proposals look so convincing to you. What I mean is, he will show you so many opportunities to earn. But if you are young especially, do get some advice before grabbing the opportunity. Young means you are below the age of 50. Yes, please close your mouth for a second. It does take that long for a person to gain maturity and not easily fall for Rahu. After all, what is Rahu? Rahu is your desire. If you are old enough, you would have certainly heard about someone telling you how that person invested in a big investment few years back and later came and complained to you how everything went wrong. What made them invest? Desire. What made them pursue the wrong choice? Inexperience. So, make sure you have a good advisor by your side. Someone who is elderly, mature, experienced, and most importantly has no vested interest in how much money you're going to make. Now, Kethu was in your 9th house the last 1.5 years, preventing you from having a mentor. Guru somehow helped you a little, because Guru was also looking at Kethu in the last 1 year. So those things would have smoothened up a little. But still, there would have been a distance between you and your father, your boss, your supervisor, or your preceptor. With Kethu now leaving the 9th house, when is that? By the end of May. It is time to build back those bridges. You will need them by your side. You need who? Your father, your boss, supervisor, preceptor, people who can give you valuable advice. Between mid-July to end November, Saturn will give you the chance to go back and correct your financial situation. Now you're going back with better maturity. There must be some unfinished business from the last transit. And while Saturn is helping you heal from your finances, Guru does a mini transit into Cancer. When is that? Between mid-October to the 5th of December. It's like you are trying to solve this big problem at the office and all of a sudden, the office mate that you don't like suddenly comes to help you out. He comes there and says, "Hey, what's the problem? Can I have a look at it? Or at least, can I get you a cup of coffee?" Use this window of opportunity wisely. In fact, it could be a lucky period for you. When Guru enters Cancer, what is Cancer for Guru? Cancer is his point of exaltation. That's where Guru becomes very strong. So when Guru enters Cancer, you may even get lucky in the matters of partnership. To those young ones looking for a companion, it may even present an opportunity to meet someone exciting. What you make out of it is up to you, but don't build castles in the air. Don't be so quick. The excitement can be temporary. Not enough for the two of you to make a firm commitment. That's all right, but Guru's firm entry into your 7th house will happen in the middle of 2026. Nothing is going to be lost forever. In summary, Makara is finally completing a 7.5-year journey of transformation and maturation. You are well poised to go out there and make the best out of the skills and lessons that you have learned over the years. Mental stress will reduce overall. April until mid-May will be a period for celebration. It's the time you take a break, enjoy, and go smell the roses. From mid-May onwards, you need to turn a bit more cautious in your approach. In order to maintain harmony in the family, learn to give and take and avoid jumping into conclusions. Seek appropriate advice, exercise diplomacy while communicating with others, and learn how to manage your finances in a responsible manner. To those of you successfully completing a degree course, a skills recognition pathway, setting up a new business, or starting up a family, well done, Makara. Well done. You now know the true power of the Saturn return. Go educate others. Share your journey. Help others understand the Saturn return. Good luck. Kumbha is entering the final leg of the Saturn return or Sarishati by the end of March this year. Let me begin with a little story. You and your family have embarked on this journey of 750 kilometers. You have already finished the first 500 kilometers. There is just another 250 kilometers to go. Everyone is tired. You have been driving since the very beginning. Your journey through the next 100 kilometers, though, is through a very beautiful landscape. You are enjoying the scenery, but it begins to rain. Your vision gets blurry. Your partner keeps looking out through the window, disinterested to have a conversation with you. Your children at the back seat suddenly wake up and start giggling and chatting. They are having an adorable conversation and keep trying to get you involved as well. At about the same time, your friend keeps calling you on the phone, ready to break good news about your promotion. Your partner, meanwhile, begins to annoy you, asking you to stop the journey for a while, take a break, answer the call, check the windshield and the wipers. But there's only less than 200 kilometers to go, and the noise from the kids at the back, it isn't helping the situation either. This will be your situation in 2025. Yes, your Saturn return is still going on, but you have finished 5 years of it. Rahu enters your Rashi Kumbha, clouding your judgment. At about the same time, Guru enters your 5th house, bringing in success, luck, wealth, and happiness through children. But your partner will be under Kethu's influence, causing some disconnect between you both. However, your seemingly disinterested partner is the one who is able to see the things which you can't. Your partner will be the one giving you valuable advice if you care to stop and listen. In short, 2025 will be a spectacular year for you. If you can listen to the proper advice and keep yourself grounded to reality, things will turn out far better than you expect. Most of your anxiety will be just a waste of time and opportunity. You are entering 2025 with Saturn firmly in his own Rashi, Kumbha. Being the lord of your own Rashi, he can only do good things to you. But Saturn, being Saturn, will of course enjoy playing his little mind games. The torture is mental, not so much at the physical level. Rahu is in your 2nd house, Meena, adding on to your worries by disrupting your wealth and finances. Guru is in Rishaba, your 4th house, demanding expansion and your direct involvement in homely matters. Meanwhile, Guru has been protecting your career while also helping you put a brake on wasteful expenditure. Kethu's journey in your 8th house, Kanni, would have caused some amount of fear about getting a bad name or getting a major illness. Meanwhile, Mars has been the source of unsteady trends involving relationship with siblings, children, and your profession. At the time this video is published, Venus or Shukra is exalted in your second house Meena together with Rahu. Venus is the lord of your fourth and the Bhagyasthana ninth. His transit in your second house improves happiness in your family. The seventh lord Sun also transits the second house between the middle of February until middle of March. This is the best time to rekindle the love with your partner and enjoy some happy moments together. This 1 month period also brings profits through partnership. Your speech will become sweet and attractive. I said your speech, not exactly your looks. So talk your way into success. Meanwhile, Guru had just concluded his retrograde motion while sitting in the fourth house. Again, this will enhance harmony at home, improve your relationship with your mother, decrease any damage to your reputation, and help improve your workplace environment. Some of the improvements at work may have been delayed during the Ketu retrograde. From the middle of March onwards, a more serious phase will begin. Your seventh lord Sun leaves the second house in middle of March, and 2 weeks later, Saturn enters Meena. Now, imagine that you are having a big party, loud music, good food, plenty of friends, and your father suddenly walks into the home. The music dies, there's a moment of awkward silence. The father just looks around, but he's unable to show his anger because there are still a few more guests left. Well, that will be your situation between end of March until the end of May. Saturn's entry into Meena will be cushioned by Rahu and Venus, who will remain there until the end of May. So you need to thank Rahu and Venus. Now, another spectacular event happens before the end of May. What is it? Your Guru transit into your fifth house. Now, who is Guru for Kumbha? He is the lord of your second house Meena and 11th house Dhanush. The lord of the second and the 11th is entering the fifth house. You are so lucky. But I will elaborate on this later. Let's get back to Saturn. First of all, when Saturn leaves Kumbha by the end of March, your brain fog is going to clear. The overall mental stress will reduce. But over the last 2.5 years, Saturn would have helped you build your mental strength, increase your overall level of maturity. That will remain with you forever. Saturn's lessons are lifelong. By now, you should have learned how to deal with criticism, identify who your true friends are. Not only that, you are now resilient. You know how to deal with your own problems without running for help to others. In short, when Saturn leaves your first house, he is not leaving you in a weak state. No, you're wrong. You are now a much stronger version of your old self. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. Others cannot easily sense this change in you. The transformation is internal. With the internal transformation now complete, the next and final phase of your Saturn return is more about how you use your inner strength to interact with this world. Learn to deal with your finances, speech, immediate family, take up leadership, manage your own affairs, how to take charge of your life. What does Saturn want? Simple. Discipline, structure, order, patience, detachment, sacrifice, resilience. He now wants to impose all that into matters related to your second house. I'm telling you again, you are so lucky to have Guru stepping in to boost your finances between mid-May 2025 until end May 2026. You now have two options. Option number 1 is to enjoy life and ignore Saturn until June 2026. I've got Guru. Why should I worry about Saturn? He can be there sitting at the side. I'll deal with him. when it comes to June 26. So that's your option number 1. Option number 2 is to combine Saturn's lessons on prudence and discipline. Combine that with Guru's blessings on your wealth and happiness. Let me warn you, Guru's transit into Cancer in June 2026, that's next year, can cause a big reversal of your good fortunes. And Guru will give you a short preview of what is in store this year itself. When is that? Between mid-October until 5th of December 2025. Guru will skip into Cancer for a while. And this happens while Saturn is doing a retrograde in your second house. Don't get caught unprepared. This will be a sensitive period for you. So from now onwards, learn to manage your finances responsibly. Reduce your loans. Kill off the bad loans while sacrificing a little on your comforts. Make sure you budget your expenditure, identify wasteful spending habits, and curtail them. Saturn's second house transit will also demand higher responsibility to your own family. More tasks will now fall on your shoulders. You will feel this especially if you are having aging parents. Saturn restricts and separates. He separates you from your family. In a good way. It means you need to travel often to earn and support for your family. You have to learn to do this without neglecting your responsibility towards your family. That's the catch. You won't be able to push your responsibility to your parents, to your partner, or your siblings. It will come back to sit on your shoulders. Saturn is also here to teach you about good health. And he does this through your eating habits. From the second house, he's looking at your 8th. Learn to eat healthy. Your digestion will slow down. You keep dumping unhealthy food down your throat and you will suffer the consequences. And finally, learn to control your speech. Your speech will be harsh and pessimistic because you are now talking based on your difficult experience over the last 5 years. It's a speech that comes out from the mouth of a tortured soul. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. But be careful, especially during the Saturn retrograde, which is between mid-July to end of November. Your speech will be very easily taken out of context. If you are a politician, this is the time you will be stirring up controversy. It leads to untold embarrassment because Saturn's aspect is also on your 8th house. And 8th house can bring you bad name, embarrassment. They say even walls have ears. Some things are best left unsaid. Learn to talk less, learn to do more. Now, please don't get rattled with whatever I'm trying to tell you. After all, when I launched this channel, I told myself that I will stick to telling the truth. No sugarcoating. Never mind if you don't want to like or subscribe. That doesn't bother me. Now, let's take a look at the good stuff. Guru's transit. Guru will enter your 5th house Mithuna by mid-May 2025. From there, he will be looking at your Bhagyasthana, your 9th house, your 11th house, which is the house of luck, and the second house. The second house is the house of wealth. Now, Guru owns the 11th house and the second house. But the 9th house is under Shukra or Venus, who is already in your second house. Wow. Just wow, Kumbha. Love, children, luck, promotion, wealth, completion of higher studies, divine blessings, happiness in the family, successful long journeys. We can go on and on. For many of you, this will be your golden era. Make sure you take as many pictures and selfies. Go, do it. Because sometimes you don't realize how lucky you are when you're actually going through the good times. It is only afterwards you look back and say, hey, those were the good times. So I'm telling you in advance, the good times are coming. Take the opportunity, celebrate. There will be plenty of memorable moments with family and friends. You will certainly welcome 2026 in high spirits. Finally, a short take on Rahu and Kethu. Rahu, the troublemaker, he is leaving your second house a few days after the Guru transit. Kethu will leave your 8th house and enter your 7th. I'm mentioning Rahu and Kethu last because I'm confident that you will not be sidetracked by what these two grahas have to offer. You just need to be aware of their melancholy. Their transit will be complete by the end of May. The spotlight is now moving away from your partner to you. You will be more outspoken, adventurous, outgoing, ready to experiment new ideas, flamboyant, diplomatic, and famous compared to your partner. Your partner, meanwhile, will be going through quite the opposite. Your partner will retract into a shell, like a tortoise. Learn to stay grounded. Give some space for your partner. Make sure you include your partner and also seek his or her advice before doing something. Your partner may need time to warm up to your ever-changing ideas. But your partner is the one who carries the wisdom, while you are brimming with ideas after ideas. Your actions can put a strain in your relationship. Your unmet expectations can become the source of unhappiness. Learn to control your desires. Don't expect too much from your partner. Don't expect your partner to be at your side for every little thing that you're going to do. Do frequent reality checks. Is it me who's asking too much? Ask yourself. Your contribution towards the relationship will be more than what your partner will be able to give back to you. This undercurrent will be there from the end of May until the end of 2026. Accept and move on. The more you try to change your partner, the worse it will become. If you're running a bad Mahadasha, things can even reach the point of no return. But actually, if Rahu enters Kumbha, while Saturn remains there, things may turn out far worse. You are lucky because Saturn leaves Kumbha by the end of March 25. Meanwhile, Rahu enters Kumbha only by the end of May. So for a period of almost 2 months in between, there will be no negative influence of any of these grahas on you both. Take this opportunity to renew your commitment towards each other. Please remember all the sacrifice the partner did for you while you were going through the Saturn return in the last 5 years. You were not even there most of the time. The partner was filling in, trying to settle things, listening to your sob stories. So don't pick up a fight. Don't burn the forest to kill a tiger. Am I saying that people should not even get married during this Rahu-Kethu transit? No. There will be enough saving grace coming through the Guru's 5th house transit. I'm merely asking you to not fall for Rahu's deception and don't underestimate Kethu's lessons. Real love is divine love. No planet can shake a divine bond between two souls who are willing to sacrifice for each other. So with this, I would like to remind you of that little story that I said right in the very beginning. You have finished this journey of 500 kilometers. There's just another 250 kilometers to go. Everyone is tired. Even your partner is tired listening to all your sad stories. You have been driving since the very beginning. This is your journey. But the next 100 kilometers is journey through a very beautiful landscape. That is your Guru transit into the 5th house. You are enjoying the scenery, but it begins to rain. What do I mean here? The rain is Rahu. Your vision gets blurry. Your partner keeps looking out through the window, disinterested to have a conversation with you. That's your partner going through Kethu. Your children at the back seat suddenly wake up and start giggling and chatting. They are happy. They are bringing the happiness through Guru. Or Guru is bringing the happiness through the children. Don't ignore that. And at about the same time, your friend keeps calling you on the phone. That is Guru's favorable aspect through the 11th house. Ready to break news about your promotion. That is the 9th house. Your partner, meanwhile, begins to annoy you, asking you to stop the journey for a while, take a break, answer the call, check the windshield, check the wipers. That is Ketu. Ketu will give you the right advice. But you will not be ready to listen to the advice. There's only another 200 kilometers to go. And the noise from the kids at the back isn't helping the situation. What I'm trying to tell here. You are more focused on Saturn return, Saturn return, Saturn return. I got to finish this journey. I got to finish that. Oh, I'm going through so much difficulty. Don't forget to enjoy those little beautiful things that are happening right next to you. Stay responsible, stay grounded, but at the same time, take the opportunity that comes towards you. Good luck.
Dear Meena, you may have heard all the horror stories about the Saturn return or Sadeshati. I have spent extra time carefully analyzing your horoscope. At the end of the video, I have added some important concepts about Saturn. Please listen until the end. Have you looked at a huge monument and wondered how it was built? How much stress, problems, and challenges the builder would have gone through? But in the end, they managed to create a beautiful monument that survived through harsh weather, natural calamities, war, climate change. Now you are the builder and you are on to something really big in your life. That is Saturn return or the Sadeshati. Your weak mind makes you focus only on the problems and difficulties, but you fail to see the big picture. Sadly, the society also lacks people who will come forward and offer you constructive feedback, or at least assure that you are on the right track. That good Samaritan may never come. You have to stay motivated, and if you're married, you need to ensure your whole family stay motivated too. As the year begins, your second and ninth Lord Mars has been going through this unsteady back and forth journey between your fourth and fifth houses. This is point number 1 for your worries. Rahu, the troublemaker, has been in your own Rashi since before 2024, preventing you from quickly identifying and acknowledging the problems you have been facing. This is point number 2. Ketu, meanwhile, has been causing you some setbacks through your 7th house Kanni or Virgo. This is point number 3. Guru, your Rashi Lord, was in retrograde motion until the 5th of February. This is point number 4. Saturn has been transiting your 12th house, giving a rise in wasteful expenditure and long journeys. This is point number 5. As though all this is not enough, Venus, the Lord of your 3rd and 8th houses, joined Saturn in Kumbha and has now entered your own Rashi Meena. Of all 5 grahas I mentioned, Saturn's journey through Kumbha must have been the most painful one because Saturn was in his own house. If you have survived all this and made it to this year, 2025, without losing your peace and self-worth, that itself is a cause for celebration. Don't worry, 2025 will be a better year for you, and let me tell you why. With the end of Guru's retrograde in early February, at least you would have come back to your senses. But Venus joining Rahu in Meena, that will increase your worries up 1 notch. And then Saturn enters Meena on the 29th of March. This is the period where you really need to hang tight. You may want to go to the temple and surrender yourself to God. They say the night is darkest before dawn. And the dawn is a gradual process, with the first light of the day appearing before the sunrise itself. Your first ray of hope comes through Mars. He turns progressive in your 4th house Mithuna on the 24th of February. And a few days after Saturn's entry into Meena, your Yoga Karaka Mars is entering your 5th house Karaka. Mars has no further retrograde for the rest of the year. With Saturn finally leaving his comfortable position in Kumbha on March 29, you're at least going to experience a reduction in wasteful expenditures and long journeys. Your cash flow will increase, but not in a way you can spend big to improve your luxury and comforts. If you have learned your lessons well from the previous transit, you should be now more prudent and overall cautious about spending money or going out of your way to help others who don't actually deserve your help. With Saturn entering Meenam by end of March, his main demand will be on your self-improvement. This is very much different from Rahu's flamboyant and carefree type of self-importance. Rahu would have given you multiple ideas over the last 1 year plus. You will have your fingers in multiple places by now. Saturn will now implore you to put worthy ideas into action. Things are going to get serious. Guru will be leaving your 3rd house Rishaba, entering your 4th house Mithuna by mid-May. This signals a further reversal in your luck. There will be rising comforts. Some of you who are residing overseas may decide to return to your homeland. I'm not suggesting you should do it, but you will have a longing to go back and reunite with your mother or motherland. I won't blame you for making such a big move, but remember, Guru does not cancel the Saturn return. Your Saturn return continues no matter where you're moving to. You may also reward yourself with a new vehicle, or you may think about moving into a new house. Your job environment will improve, and you will be able to see many new openings for your career expansion. If you have been dealing with some sort of false allegations, this will be the time to clear your name. Loan applications will go through successfully, but before you commit, spare a thought whether you will be able to maintain the loan beyond 2027. A few days after Guru's transit, Rahu will also leave Meenam to enter your 12th house Kumbha. Ketu will enter your 6th house Simha. Of the two, Ketu's transit into your 6th house will be more beneficial. Though some setbacks will be there health-wise, the health issues will be just a constant annoyance rather than something really major. But pay attention to your heart and your father's health. Meanwhile, enemies will disappear. You will somehow escape or avoid from arguments and litigation. Rahu's departure from your own Rashi will also help you reduce the stress already caused by Saturn and Venus. Rahu is good for success to those living abroad. So even though I said earlier that Guru will make you think about returning home, if you have doubts, wait until the end of May and rethink your options, as you will be able to see and evaluate your options a bit more clearly. The combination of Guru and Rahu's effect on your 12th house should also help you recover something that you lost in the last 2 to 3 years. It is not necessarily money. It can be a position, your name, a project, or a training opportunity. So if you feel that you were unfairly left out, sidelined, try again in June 2025. Between June to mid-July, your correction course should be complete. You should use this period to come firm with your decisions. I mean, how long do you want to hold off with everything? Life has to go on, right? The next big event is Saturn entering retrograde motion from July 13 till November 28, 2025. If you are running a retrograde planet Mahadasha or Bhukti, this should be a lucky period for you. But otherwise, this could be another opportunity for you to go back and correct something related to your 12th house. If you previously failed to get an overseas visa, perhaps you can try again. If you previously paid fines for an error you did not commit, or you were overcharged by the bank, taxation office, or even lost a legal battle, you can try to recover what you lost during this period. Now, interestingly, Jupiter does a short fifth transit into Karka by mid of October. Guru will be there until the 5th of December, temporarily supplying you with much needed energy and luck. This short period will be very good for your children, gaining recognition or even a promotion. So even though Saturn retrograde lasts till the end of November, Guru will step in and offer you a lifeline during his 5th transit. Use this brief opportunity wisely, as Guru himself has to go into retrograde and step back into your 4th house by the 5th of December. So it's a window of opportunity that you can use. With so many major moves affecting your sign in 2025, this is going to be exciting and also full of ups and downs for you. You should be ready to jump at opportunity where possible, but also carefully retreat when things are not in your favor. After the 5th of December, life will fall back into a more stable and predictable routine. Now that I've given you a chronological overview of 2025, let's return to the main theme, the Sadeshati or Saturn return. When Saturn enters your Rashi Meena, this signals a more serious phase of your Saturn return. In the first 2.5 years, he has already disrupted a few things in your life. You are now in the middle section of a long one-way tunnel. You look back and all that you can see is perhaps darkness. You look forward and you can't see the end of the tunnel. You will soon start questioning so many things. Your first question might be, why some people have it so easy and some do not? It's all because of the karma you have brought into this life. You bring good karma, life will be easy. You bring bad karma, you suffer until you accept, pay off your debts, and move on. Saturn is here to help you pay off your bad karma. He's doing you a favor. At least he's not like his good friend Kethu. You know what Kethu does? He takes something away completely. Finito. See you in the next life, he says. But Saturn at least is not like that. He lets you learn from your mistakes. And especially if you're born with a retrograde Saturn, he will let you commit the same mistakes over and over until you learn your lessons and find the courage to move on. What mistake, you may ask? Why ask me? Ask your soul, or think hard and try to recognize the pattern of your sufferings. The answer is right there. But I have been this good person. I'm vegetarian, I go to the temple on Saturdays, I pray to Krishna, I pray to Hanuman, I light the oil lamp, I go around the Navagrahas. Okay, well done. Then you need to be thankful, because Saturn can make you suffer much worse. Your good behavior protects you. If you're lucky enough, even the God may bless you. But Saturn is here just to do his job. He has an accounts book from your past life. He doesn't care whether you're rich or poor, a king or a pauper, a father or a spoiled daughter. He does not care. Then you go, all right, I accept all my past mistakes. I'm completely surrendering myself to God. Can Saturn please leave me now? No, Saturn is also here to help you mature into a better person. He has a duty to protect Dharma. How can Saturn ensure that you will protect the others if you do not understand their pain and suffering? Saturn is also here to help you find your true potential. A humble party worker rising to become the Prime Minister, an army cadet becoming an officer, a real estate developer completing a huge residential project, a mere student rising to become a professor. The true power of Saturn is behind every one of them. You want to dream big, you need Saturn by your side. Otherwise, you can only dream on. How can I satisfy Saturn? Does he not feel satisfied at all? We can talk for hours about this. Where do I start? Leave your old unproductive habits. Rise early in the morning. Make up your own bed. Respect the elders. Help the poor and the underprivileged. Stop laughing or recording someone's misfortune. Try to offer some help instead. Follow rules. Discipline. Be punctual. Exercise. Talk less and do more. Help an animal in distress. Stop enjoying what is not yours. Being thankful to those who care and do good things to you. Cleaning the house and washing the dishes. How many of these have you actually done in the last few weeks? Or have you ever performed a selfless act where the person you helped grabbed your hands and said thank you with tears in their eyes? That's how you make Saturn happy and satisfied. Now, to wrap things up, by the end of March, both Saturn and Rahu will be together in Meenam. Kethu will be in your 7th house. A major upheaval is in store, both at home and also your workplace. Please pay attention to your spouse or partner's health and learn to make peace. During the period in between Saturn's transit and Rahu-Kethu transit, you will be forced to wrap up some useless projects or dreams. You will be suddenly pushed into a zone where you need to make important decisions. But it won't be easy due to the distractions caused by Rahu and mental pressure plus discipline imposed by Saturn. In all this confusion, somebody has been repeatedly giving you valuable advice. Do you know who that person is? That's your partner. Under the influence of the wise Kethu, your partner would have been trying to get across a very important message to you. Did you pay attention to that message? And finally, projects that you start before mid-July will remain your main theme going into 2026 and 2027. Though there will be ups and downs, delays and frustrations, Saturn will supply you the strength to see through those challenges. Do not back off with what you have started. Guru and Kethu will help smoothen your journey into second half of 2025. With the right attitude and approach, you will certainly carve a name for yourself. The experience and skills you acquire will feature prominently in the next 20 to 30 years of your life. Good luck.